Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, episode number 145 of From the Sidelines. It's another exciting one. We got an event just in the rearview mirror, just over our back shoulder, right behind us. So we're going to be talking about all the cool things that went down in Atlantic City. There's some other topics as well. We'll touch on towards the end of the night. But guys, all the excitement's going on over there. We don't have a guest to join us. Obviously, you know, the FTS to play the game pipeline is strong. Fit won again. So our boy Scott Stewart had to go over there as the MVP of the tournament. So. As they say, the prophecy is true. Stephen Hatch, my co-host, if you come on from the sidelines, you will go and play the game in the future.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, shout out to Scott Stewart. Not only did he win the tournament, but he's doing our sleeper agent on FTS, going on to play the game right now.
He is. He's working his way in. We do appreciate him for that. We've been talking to him all day, getting the inside intel and information. So thank you, Scott. We'll talk about you more later on in the show. But Brando, Baird, how you doing, buddy? You and I did not go out to AC, so we are third-party perspectives, and I think we missed a good one. I'm going to be honest. It looked like a rough time out there.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. FOMO really, God, it was strong. The FOMO was strong in this one. Last year when I missed one event, I was preoccupied. I had something going on. This one, I just sat there and watched.
You were busy? I thought you took like a vacation.
Basically
12 hours was taken away from me, but whatever.
You're not that busy then.
No, but it looked fun. As you said, rough.
Did it look fun? Are we sure? We had no alcohol. We had sand on fields. We had torrential downpour.
Look, the environment sucked.
All of those things don't sound like fun to me.
But you being with the guys, being with everyone.
That's true. Fun. Type 3 fun. The trauma bond definitely increased for everyone who went out to Atlantic City this past weekend. And guys, we will get shortly into the rest of the event. But before we do that, we got to talk about our sponsors who put on the show every week. Up first, we got Liquid IV, liquidiv.com. Head over there. Use promo code Mafia_Moffitt to get yourself 20% off and free shipping at checkout. Liquid IV, the superior hydration multiplier, the product that we use over here. I bet you Hatch had some with him in his bag. I'm going to guess either Concord Grape or Golden Cherry.
Oh, dude, we had Rocket Pop, we had Acai Berry, we had everything.
Damn, okay, I was wrong, but those are his two favorites. So, those are the ones I know he goes for most of the time. But if you want to check out some for yourself, make sure, as I just said, go head over, check out the website, liquidiv.com. They have all the different formulas on there, the sugar-free formula, the sugar formula, the immunity booster, the sleep booster, the energy support. So everything's on there. Get some more information. Go check out the product for yourself. It's a great product. We use it over here on the show as well as we're out, at the field, recovering from a long night. We love it. It's great. So go grab some from yourself. Promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Save some money at checkout. Next up, we got NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. I'll grab my great little tin here for the boys. The awesome little energy pouch, which I may have to throw one of these later on in the show, but it's just got some caffeine and a neurotropic in there, so it's going to get you energized and pepped up, ready to get going or whatever task you got at hand. The nice thing is this product, looks similar to Zyn, a tobacco product, something of that sort, but there is no tobacco in this product or nicotine. It is, as I mentioned, just the caffeine and the neurotropic. So it's good, a little bit safer alternative for you, but the similar delivery system. You throw a pouch in your gums. It'll get you buzzed up pretty quick. It'll get you going, get that brain stimulated. I know they've got all their great flavors. Watch out for the mint. It'll hit you in your teeth. It is a strong mint over there.
But Atomic Apple.
It's not bad. Well, I do love the Atomic Apple. That one doesn't kick as hard. But yeah, the fresh mint in general, there's a reason they made a chill mint right after, because their original mint went pretty damn hard on the menthol. But it's a great product. I recommend trying it out for yourself. And if you want to get more information, as I said, head over to NECTR.energy. Promo code MafiaProductions, all one word. Gonna buy 2, get 1 free. So throw 3 cans in your cart, and you're gonna get one of them for free. So try out a couple flavors, see which one is your favorite. And then last but not least, boys, we got our sponsor. Please go buy some fucking Wells clothing, because the boys did it again for the 3rd time in a row. PB Fit got the dub, and the boy merch over there, Scott Stewart, and a couple of his friends. Well, Welts Clothing is their brand, so hey, go support the winners. Go support the guys who are doing it right, in my opinion. Building up brick by brick. After all, that is Welts' that's their whole platform and message is that things don't come easy in life, and hey, if anyone you can learn from, it's fucking PB Fit. They're doing great. So go head over to weltsclothing.com. Every first Wednesday of the month they drop their Welts Wednesday drop, which is a special limited edition drop. May's already gone by, so you missed your chance, but next month you have to pay attention, see what they have available. They also have regular stuff that's available all throughout the year on their website. So if you want to check out their options, head over to weltsclothing.com and grab yourself some new pieces, some new styles. But yeah, so code FTS over there, save yourself some money, and beautiful. Boys, those are ad reads for tonight. We did them. We got through them. I want to fall the fuck asleep. Work's been crazy recently. I work for a crazy person, and he just drops things on my desk at 5:30 when I'm about to leave the office. So I've been leaving very late recently, which means I've been not getting home until very late recently, which means I've been not going to bed until very late recently. So this is zombie mode, Ryan. I'm fucking here. I'm doing it. I don't want to be, but if I didn't, these boys would get mad at me. So here we are. It's episode 145. That Minecraft zombie. Was a very good impression. I was just gonna give you that. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That wasn't a soundboard, audio listeners. That was Hatch himself.
I'm about to get copyrighted by Mojang, so I better be careful. But
it's a sound effect. They don't copyright sound effects.
Hey, let me just say, it's fantastic to be back. Ryan, Brando, missed you guys. God damn it. When we record on an off day, it just feels. All right, well, fuck you guys. When we record on an off day, it feels so distant when we get linked back up.
Yeah. I miss my coworkers too sometimes.
Yeah, after talking to each other for however many fucking weeks, 150 or whatever, it feels weird not talking to each other on that exact day.
You were close. You're 145, not quite to 150.
Damn
but
it,
no,
I get lost.
I do slightly agree with you. You say all this, but you were the one who left the call the earliest last week. Even Dufort was still here hanging out with me and Brandon for a bit. So buddy, I think there's some conflicting actions here. You're saying we're best friends, but yet you're leaving so quick after the podcast recording's up. I don't get what's going on.
I left to go to sleep and then wake up in the morning and go to Cedars.
Yeah,
for the trip.
That's a likely story. Do you have an alibi? Is Cedar? Can he confirm that alibi for you?
Oh, he 100% could.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, good to know.
But I had to make sure I get a good night's sleep before the event because.
But you made it out there safe and everything?
Definitely.
Did you have any travel issues or anything like that? Because, weather was not great.
Honestly, we did. We did have
being
travel.
put in airport
oh, God.
Jail.
Wait, what, Brandon?
I just
what was that thought?
If anyone got put in airport jail this time.
No.
Yeah,
not this time. Not this time. So, Brando, you might as well have been there, But, dude, travel stories? Yeah. Like, right when we get there, me and Cedar are checking in for our flight. They actually don't let us check in for our flight because there's a delay. Apparently, there's something going on at the plane in Las Vegas that's supposed to be where we are, and the plane is delayed. So now they won't let us check in. We got to reschedule our whole itinerary, right? And now we're like, okay, we check in, and they say we have no more seats on the flight, but Paul already checked in for the other flight that we were supposed to be on. That's going to be delayed. That he might not make it to Philly. And so we get there.
Is it because it's not making a connecting flight? Is that the reason?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is the reason why I hate AC in general as a venue. It's because you can't fly into a fucking seat. You got to fly into Philly or Newark and then drive at least an hour and a half to get there. That's not great, Tom. That really makes things very difficult for people to get into the venue.
That's definitely a critique, and especially when the U-Haul charges by the mile, buddy. Don't like that. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Hatch, I'm gonna be honest. That's a DMG issue. That's not an NXL problem because Hertz don't be doing that. Fair enough.
All I'm saying, it's just a factor that
Hertz
for
is
my wallet.
Sponsor, bro. Start supporting them, guys. Come on, they're giving us money.
Move our gear. We need it.
U-Haul,
are here the event.
you.
Yes.
Dude,
you know
can the
saying?
start box be the U-Haul bus? That'd be so sick, actually.
Dude, we need to get some kind of U-Haul with like side seats in the back where you can like strap in, and then you can have like 50 people.
It probably breaks quite a few traffic laws because that now is like a bus, and you have to have like a CDL to drive one of those.
Oh my God!
We have a 2-ton, so that's fine. We have a CDL driver.
This is where it's that loophole right before you need to get it.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Tanner has a CDL, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, who's the CDL?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a text from him about that one. But yeah, so you guys get out there. You can't get on your flight. Oh no, who are you flying with? Who are you flying with by chance?
I'm flying with Cedar, and so we check in.
No, but what airlines? I don't care. I know you're flying with Cedar. I don't give a fuck about that. You're flying with Southwest. Fuck that. Wait, okay, I can't do that because I actually like Southwest. So
I
I'm
actually
sorry,
love
Hatch.
Southwest. Thank you for keeping me alive,
I can't
Southwest.
support you on this one. Sorry, you got to hate raid on them yourself.
I'm not hating at all. I'm not hating at all, right? Because the fact that they got us still there. It
sounds to me like you're hating a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
But because they told us there were no more seats on it on our new flight, right? So we're like, oh shit, Paulie already checked in. And then here comes Caden. Well, one sec, real quick. Here comes
you're not
Caden.
telling the story the best.
Here comes Caden, secondary, and he's like, oh, what's up, guys? And we're like, dude, what flight did you get on? How'd you check in? Like, he's like, oh, I'm on your guys' flight. They're like, dude, they said there were no more seats. But Caden's the kind of guy where, he may have some plugs in Southwest.
Checking on the phone.
What?
Checking on the phone. Like, wait, I don't know. This is all so weird because it's like, so did you? What happened? Because so you guys got in like on your phone. You went to drop off your bags because
we obviously you check in 24 hours early, right? You check in 24 hours early on the app, right? But they like when we're checking our bags.
The email as you were going in or something,
when we're checking our bags to like put it on the plane, they're like, oh, we're not going to put you on that plane. We're going to put you on this plane, right? Because
I've never possibly
heard that happen. Possibly has a time to where you miss the connecting flight.
Okay. But the plane that they were going to put you on had no seats.
Yes, the plane that we were going to put on only had 2 seats.
This is making no sense to me either, Brandon. I'm glad you're in the
They had
same
2 seats for me and Cedar. They had 2 seats for me and Cedar, right? So then, boom, no seats, right? Me and Cedar took the last 2. And then Caden comes rolling up. He's like, oh, hey, I'm on your flight. And we're like, how the fuck did you do that? They said there were no more seats.
Well, they kicked off the small child, obviously.
Well, I guess so.
I mean, they could the flight attendants, like the seats that they sit in, there's a couple of those that
jumper
stand
seats
by.
Up the jumper seats.
Yeah. That standby people can take.
Yeah,
and all that.
And are you being serious?
So,
no, they can't.
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Yes.
You can. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to fly in the flight attendant jumper seat.
So I've seen people walk like being flying stand up.
Are they like airplane employees?
I've seen both employees and people stand like whatever they may be employed, but they're flying standby.
I feel like that's someone special.
I would have to agree. I feel like it would be like a family member or someone who has a plug.
Let's be real, the amount of times Southwest's been like, "Fuck you, sorry, son," and like they're not putting me on the jump seat.
They overbooked the seat.
Yeah,
I've seen
you were seeing some plain-clothes executives of that airplane company that you were.
Were they wearing suits, Brando? Were they wearing suits when they were sitting there?
No, that's a pretty young executive that I've seen.
Were they wearing sweats? If they weren't wearing sweats, I don't believe it.
No. Valid. But yeah, so the original flight would have left us with like a 15-minute connecting flight time, right? Layover, and we're just like, bruh. So we went on the new flight.
What airport were you connecting in though? Because that is
Denver.
Very important. Okay, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah,
yeah, you ain't making a 15-minute connection in Denver.
Yeah, right. So we were just like, all right, we'll take the next flight.
Gonna kill you.
Right. So we get to the next flight. We get to the event.
You guys know about Denver Airport, right? That's on my list for the next conspiracy theory episode.
Is that what you're gonna do?
No, probably. Maybe. It's on the list. I haven't committed to anything yet, but it's on the list for sure. I'm looking into it.
I'm excited for that episode as well.
We are doing another one of those in not all that long period of time because that's one of the most fun I've had on the show in a long portion.
I agree. It gets my gears.
No one really gave a fuck. Fuck you, audience. But it was a very fun thing to do, and I think Nick Laval enjoyed it too. So we're gonna do more of them.
I would have to agree. The bond between us and Nick Laval is very strong.
It was, yeah, because he knows about how I feel about the Large Hadron Collider, and
Absolutely.
That's important, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to the whole travel things. We land. We get all the U-Hauls. We start going back to the Airbnb. Wake up the next morning for practice, right? Get to the field, bro.
Oh, we're just going into it. Okay.
This shit is like fucking Tatooine, bro. The fucking... Because we get...
Wait,
it's
That's
3
me,
a.m.
also.
It's 3 a.m. at this point when we...
So
like,
two
when we
suns
get
started
back to the
rising?
Airbnb.
What?
Dude, the dust, bro. The dust and the fucking wind was so bad to where it's like... I mean, that picture that I put on my story today of Paul, it's like, dude, with the goggles... That was like so accurate.
That's why he had them on. Okay, it was like a sandstorm.
Dude, the dust was so bad.
Hatch, you're on a beach. It was sand. Stop
I
saying
know, right?
dust.
But, okay, so what they ended up doing is...
Hatch being fucking Qatar. Like, guys, it's a bit dusty outside today. It's like, no, it's a sandstorm.
It's so dusty.
It felt dusty. I don't know the difference. I'm not a geologist. But anyway,
no, just keep going.
so anyway, we get to the practice field, bro. It was as if the ground as if the event was played yesterday.
From last year, like it didn't like recover or anything.
Dude, we found stakes. We're like, damn, what is this rock under here? And we like dig it out a little bit. It was a stake from last year under the ground, right? And I'm not a gloves guy, but dude, I was like, you know what? This looks a little rough. I'm gonna wear some gloves. First point, I slide into the Dorito, slice my glove open, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. We're like walking it, going down the Doritos. Dude, there's like broken bottles and glass on the SUP airfield.
Yeah,
and we were
Atlantic
like,
City, yeah.
And we were like, bro, what the fuck
The commemorative
is this?
razor blade they put on every field. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and
You found it. You're supposed to get a
Hawkins
prize.
back. Your dad actually knows about that. That's an old paintball tradition. Because back in the days, they had the really shitty fields in New Jersey. Because New Jersey is a shitty dumpster field, just absolute dumpster garbage fire of a state. And so they would always put broken beer bottles, cigarette butts, and baby diapers on the field, to represent the absolute piece of shithole that they were in, which is New Jersey. And so I'm glad that they brought this tradition forward to Batter Field in Atlantic City. You guys were able to have some of the the cigarette butts and the broken glass and the just absolute shit conditions that are the state of New fucking Jersey. I hate that state.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, dude, for a
very
venue,
big opinions on New Jersey.
For a venue with no booze, there sure were a lot of glass beer bottles on the ground.
I'm gonna be honest too. I don't really give all that much of a fuck about New Jersey. It's now just becoming a meme, and every time I talk about it, it's gonna get worse and worse. So fuck New Jersey.
I mean,
what have they ever done for us? Have
it.
they ever done anything for the union? Honest question.
Ooh.
Have they done anything for the union?
No.
The state history of New Jersey, other than fucking kill presidents, because that's where you would go and duel back in the day because it was fucking legal and it wasn't legal in New York. So, yeah, man, fucking New Jersey, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon. Sorry, sidebarring this whole conversation.
It's okay. It's okay.
We don't really need to look
FTS
into it,
sidebars.
Brandon, but you're doing it, so
From the
I hear you
sidebar.
typing.
But
sidebar. That's actually
definitely.
Good,
let me tell you something.
good take on it.
Overall,
but yeah, all the beer bottles for the non-beer event that we weren't allowed to bring beer to.
Yeah, let me tell you, dude. The parking lot was littered with Michelob Ultras, bro. That must have been the poison of choice for most paintballers that weekend.
Poison? What are you talking about? That's fuel.
For 10 man, yes sir.
Yeah,
that's 10-man fuel right there.
Teams win.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, overall, the venue was not bad. I cannot complain. Like the
biggest thing
sure
it has
the ground
going
was
for it
bad.
is the tarmac and like the pavement to be able to walk around. Like that really does help so much when you have actual areas where you can like get around places and
especially when it's raining,
where you can roll a beer bag.
Yeah, especially when it's raining, like you have that. You're not getting all fucking.
It's not just the mud everywhere, and like you're just dragging your bag. It's not really rolling anymore. Like no, it really does help a venue just to have that pavement sections where you can kind of get a relief from the mud and shit.
Oh yeah.
And really quick sidebar.
Yep, sidebar from the sidebar.
Damn it.
Yep, New Jersey. The only thing of note that they've done is became the third state to ratify the U.S. Constitution in 1787. And the first to ratify the Bill of Rights. Other than that, New Jersey, you're kind of a shithole.
What I'm hearing
second
is
loser.
Yeah, they needed 2 other people to go in front of them because they're goddamn cowards who can't stand up for themselves and fight for the freedom of America.
Frontliners.
What I'm hearing is that other brave American soldiers had to put their lives out there and die for their state to be able to sign that Constitution before the cowards that are New Jersey.
I would have died before New Jersey.
Who stand? I wouldn't die for New Jersey. Fuck New
No,
Jersey.
I died before New Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand what you're saying, but that's okay. Brandon, if you could keep intercutting our conversation about the event with random miserable facts about New Jersey, I would love that. That would be the best bit we could ever do for this event. Hatch. So as you said, practice, you get there, shitty conditions, really bad layout, cigarette butts, razor blades, shivs in the fucking snake.
Everywhere.
Anything else go down on Thursday? Was it really rainy Thursday, or was it didn't seem
honestly,
that bad?
Dude, the weather was beautiful until Sunday. Honestly, besides the dust and the wind, the sand and the wind.
Thank you.
You know, besides the sand and the wind.
He's learning, guys.
It was not too bad. Honestly, like the weather was good. It's, you know how in Florida where you get there and then you walk outside right out of the airport and you're like, damn, boy.
Yeah, that was me today. It rained all morning and then it got really hot in the afternoon. So
it was definitely not like that. Shit. It was definitely way better than that. So overall, the location of it, besides having to drive super far.
I will say this because it was funny. My phone. Anytime there's an NXL event, because they've always been on similar weekends, my phone gives the photos from this weekend in history.
Of course, yeah.
And it's always NXL events. It's actually a good thing you guys weren't here in Texas. It was pouring rain all fucking weekend. So maybe Tom was right to go out to AC for this one. It just didn't work out for the last day. Sorry, Tom. You really tried your best, buddy.
Absolutely, and even then, it wasn't even too bad. Sure, it was rainy and it was kind of miserable a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest, looked pretty fucking miserable, bro.
Yeah, but let me tell you,
those days where I was watching all the homies on the sideline get shot as they were trying to keep their cameras safe, and I was just salute.
Absolutely, but I've had some events where it would be miserable from Friday. Right, coming in on the plane would be miserable. So
Yeah.
After having
Thursday practice is miserable, and you're just
it's
why are we here? Why the fuck are we here?
It's like, can we just stay at the B&B? Fuck the practice lot.
Can we just? I don't want to play on this dirt field that you have us playing in a field in Pennsylvania, Tom Cole.
And let me do the rain. If it rained, if we could have had the rain on the first day, it would have been so much better.
Sorry, because I was talking about the Dirt Bowl Open, the Philly event.
Of course.
I will say that is one of the most Type 2 funs when I look back on it. Miserable at being at, just not a great venue. A lot of guys got hurt there. A lot of dust inhalation. It wasn't great. But that is one of my favorite episodes of Rebirth. It's the best storyline. It's the best outcome and everything that happens. Although they didn't make Sunday, it's love that event. So good things came from it.
It was nice, yeah.
It's very cinematic. I joined Smiley Joe's Instagram live before this. We were kind of editing some photos, and the dust on the slides looked pretty cinematic. So I think there's going to be a lot of.
It looks good. It's just annoying because then I'm out in the Doritos. Oh,
hey everybody!
Get out.
I'm here.
But that's the thing. You get out there, you're like, all right, we're cool. No one's shooting at me. They didn't see me get out. 10 seconds later. Oh, 2-1, there's dust, 2-1. It's what the fuck, man? I didn't do anything.
And there were, the very first day when we're walking the Lone Wolf field, the semi-pro field, the premier field, we're like, damn, there are some deep pits. And then the next day,
deep
pits, in the Doritos and in each little section. The next day, there are not completely, but relatively filled with sand. And so now
that doesn't help though, Tom, because now
it did not help at all.
Loose ankle grabbers. So as you're running, it's hard, soft, and then your ankle just snaps in half.
No, so let me tell you, as a guy who just suffered an ankle injury, I was wearing a brace at the event, and obviously I've been nursing it back fully.
Please tell me.
I looked at the field and I was like, oh, holy fuck, dude, right? And it was definitely
still 100%, right?
No, it was 100%. It was a huge test for me,
including getting multiple penalties.
I was literally absolutely. I'm gonna get to that. It was a true test for me and my physicality on my ankle, and so I can confidently say that I'm at 100%. I didn't even feel fazed by that environment.
That actually.
Really cool.
That is good to hear. I like hearing that Hatch is injured. I mean, and that goes for anyone in paintball. Like, I mean, I don't like people in paintball, but I don't want to hear that they, retire from the sport because they snapped their ankle at an event or something like that. Like, that's, dude, yeah, you don't want a guy to go out like that.
And you have to take care of it, because on Thursday, after we got done practicing, I, sure as shit, look what I run into. Colt Lacau. Right, and motherfuckers coming up. I want to say you Tokyo. Tokyo drifting over to me, and I'm talking to him a little bit. I'm like, yo, dude, so what's the diagnosis, bro? Like, tell me the scoop. And he's like, dude, like, ACL, both my meniscuses. Like, so I'm looking at like 9 to 12 months being out, and we're like,
yeah. Maddie was talking about it on the live a bit, which I appreciate. So the one thing that sucks is going back to being like a public person and not just being in the pits and being able to like, hey, what's up, Cole? How's your knee going? But this is the good thing that Maddie does a good job of. He's always in the pits talking with guys, so he has all the stories and he's able to give the extra information. But yeah, so it sounds like Colt, pretty bad injury. Got to go through surgery on them, plus physical therapy to get all those back.
He just had surgery, I think, the layout weekend, I think.
It was recent. Maybe the one before.
He said it was said it was very, very recent, right? And he's like, I'm feeling good, like I can at least, he's saying that the range of motion that he has now is actually way more than what he should have. So he's recovering relatively quickly.
The good sign is like he was out at the event. It was in an immobilizer, so it had the huge robo brace on it, but he was walking on crutches. He was, going through the mud with everyone on his cart and stuff. So, like, obviously, man seems in good spirits. Plus, he obviously seems to have some movement and everything on it, which is all, it's great signs. So, yeah, we wish Colt obviously the best recovery. But yeah, it does sound like the prognosis is we're not going to see him back this year, which really fucking sucks, man. Because like he put in so much work this.
I know he's going hard to be back at Cup.
Oh, I would love that. I don't want him to play a Cup. You know what I mean? Like, because
I want him to take full time of recovery.
He's gonna go hard.
I would not be surprised if he's feeling confident at Cup.
No, let me get my point out, because you're 100% right. It's just a guy like him. He is such a hard worker that I don't want him to be like, yeah, it's 95% of the way there, and then go out and re-injure it at Cup because it's almost ready, and then has another 4 to 5 months where he can't play paintball or something like that.
No, dude, he's Bruce Wayne, and he's got verbal as Alfred, and he's like
That's a horrible analogy.
I don't know, somewhere in the PvP
verbal
game,
does nothing for him. What are you talking about? He just films him.
You never know. Spirits, right? And so he's gonna get that robo leg, come back like Dark Knight Rises. And he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, dude, here by Cup," Extra
or
recovery.
He's got to go the way of fucking Lonzo Ball and just have the cadaver meniscus put in.
I did see that.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball does not have his meniscus from birth in. It is someone else's that was an organ donor. So that
is pretty
sick.
Insane. That's crazy to think about.
Brandon, how did that surgery happen? Our residential surgery technician.
This
is why we pay you.
As far as I understand, you don't really want meniscal transplant because the blood supply can be pretty shitty in the meniscus, and depending on where the tear is and how the tear is, it may be fixable or not. But the blood supply to the actual meniscus is shitty, which means
so it doesn't heal.
Healing.
Do you think that? Do you think that's going to shorten his career?
No, I don't know. I don't know what it looked like, right? I mean, it could have been torn.
It was fucked up. Like he was dealing with multiple knee injuries, like back to back to back. So I guess it was his best option. But
Ball? Yeah, for sure, Ball. Like it has to be completely.
I guarantee you, it was the best surgeon in the world to do those type of surgeries.
And I guarantee it wasn't
when you're an athlete like that.
Yeah, it wasn't his first surgery on it, right? It was debris.
No, probably not.
It was fixed probably multiple times, and all like, sorry, bud, we got to take it off.
No, for Lonzo, 100%, it wasn't his first surgery. Like that wasn't the first step of like,
that
let's grab
was the
someone
last
else's.
step. Yeah,
they probably did because there's a couple different ligament spots on yourself that you can donate, right? Like that, it's similar tissue, so you can like rebuild a meniscus or something like that. I know there's some surgery.
You're talking like a skin graft type of thing.
It may not be the meniscus, but there's something in the knee that you can like fix within yourself.
Not the meniscus. The meniscus is I don't know what you could take to help. I don't know, to graft like a meniscus for your own, but like an actual meniscal transplant. That's going to be the last step. So
scary.
Yeah, hopefully Colt doesn't get to that point.
No, yeah, definitely not. But would you do the surgery for him if he asked? Would you go down to Texas, fly down here? Because you're such a world-class doctor yourself.
I mean,
he negotiates that I go with him in the contract.
Yeah, that's let's bring all FTS.
I don't think we want Hatch there.
Look, I'll do the surgery, but only if we could do a live FTS episode.
So you and me riding in the back while Brando's doing
Okay, so there's an episode of The Yard on their Patreon. They go to a waxing studio, and one of the guys, Slime, gets a full body wax as the episode. For an hour and a half, this man is getting his body waxed by a small Asian woman who was also waxed Andre Eric back in the day. And his friends are just sitting there watching their butt-ass naked friend get every inch of his body waxed. I will say it is some of the best goddamn content ever. It's fucking hilarious. So if we could recreate that with Colton fucking...
Oh, Ryan, you're done!
Hatch, you know why that can't work? What's going to happen when the camera stops recording halfway through and I can't get up off the table?
I'm going to put a battery in it.
Hatch, you don't know how to fucking edit the podcast, all right?
There we go.
Then we can start talking about me being the guy on the table.
This guy.
This is literally your job here, Hatch.
That was fair nose goes. That was fair nose goes.
No. This isn't fair nose goes. You know why, Hatch? Because this is not an even fair share of work responsibilities behind the scenes on this podcast, okay?
I be posting clips.
The only reason Brandon is getting away right now is because he has a real job and he's a responsible member of society.
I have a real job.
Yeah, but his helps people. We have fake real jobs where yes, we both do things that are considered real jobs, but like we're not helping society. I'm fucking hurting society.
I mean, I'm just handling some goddamn.
You're cooking the books, bro. You're fucking. What are you talking about?
I help old people too.
Well, not in your position though. Not directly.
Bro, I'm an everything man at this job.
I'm gonna dox you right now because our audience is like, what the fuck does he do?
No, you're good.
He's CPA. He's a numbers man. He's not even. It's not exciting.
But I'm a man of many talents.
Okay.
So
he's a handyman.
I am a handyman. That is very valid, Brando.
I want to see Hatch scrub on up. Just one of these days.
Let's go. Take me with you, Brando.
I'll scrub you.
All right. What the fuck were we talking about?
Pause on that. But honest question, Brandon, how hard would it be to get the medical clearances for me to come in and film you guys doing surgery?
Ooh.
Because documentaries do it. It has to be legal. Like, there has to be legal clearances for it.
So I use your Tricky Bus certification.
So, huh?
That's not a real thing, Hatch. Keep going, Brandon.
So I've actually asked my boss about taking pictures in the OR, and because we got the camera, and I follow some medical photography.
Because there is an educational standpoint from it. It is
absolutely
something that needs to be seen.
And video and photos and everything that's covered under our consent. So once the patient signs consent of having the surgery, it's all covered. No, okay. You still have to no patient information.
Definitely, okay. Can't show their face.
So,
can't show their face.
Can't show the face. Can't
show their name.
ID.
No identifying marks or anything like that.
Exactly. Okay. But once the drape's on,
they're consenting that okay, if we need to take a photo of the incision, we can do that while you're under.
Once the drape's up, that's a piece of meat being dissected, bro.
Yeah, you're not telling.
I will say, Brandon, we've talked about it before, so we won't go into it, but every time you do a hip surgery, man, that's not a person anymore. That's a fucking alien in front of you that you're doing some car geometry on. Actually, that's a great analogy. You're putting a new suspension rack on a fucking car. You're taking the spring out under tension and fucking putting a new one in.
Yeah, we're fixing the axle. Yeah, we're
new shocks on the meat wagon.
Yeah. No, it's not. You know that they're the person, but you get desensitized. Yeah, every now and then during total knees and stuff, I'll kind of lean against the table, and my hands are on the other leg underneath the drapes. Fuck.
Why are you touching them, bro?
Let me not lean on them. They're asleep. They're not feeling it.
They didn't consent to that. They're passed out. God damn, touchy surgeon.
Dude, they get elbows in places you don't want to know. Leaning, just.
I don't want to know. Actually,
I really feel like
you're like, why is my sternum so bruised? Don't ask, man. Just don't fucking ask.
Video. I don't know. Pictures will definitely easier.
I want some selfies with you and then the victim in the back.
Oh, I'll send you some.
Like,
what up, bro?
No.
Hashtag working hard,
dude.
Or hardly working.
Yeah.
Anytime we take pictures in the OR, I pose just in case. Usually I'm not in it.
So question.
It's usually zoomed in.
So hashtag knee deep in the business.
So Brandon, because you're scrubbed in, you've got your you've got the hairnet on, you've got your mask on, you've got fucking multiple gloves on, you're fucking sand person essentially. Do you still smile for photos?
Yeah, I do.
I definitely smile.
The ice mask
on.
When I was the Chick-fil-A cow back in the day, I caught myself doing that all the time because people would be like, "Oh yeah, like picture with the cow," and you just be standing there like, "Oh yeah," and I just catch myself like, no one can see me. No one can see what I look like. Right? I can be so angry, and it means nothing. So, yeah, no, that is funny that humans will do that where you can't be seen, but you're still like
just smile because if it's genuine, it's gonna come out in the eyes.
Yeah, but what if you can't see the eyes?
That is valid, Brando.
Like if they're Asian? Oh, you mean like if you have a whole mask on?
Well, no, I wasn't being racist. Brando. I was talking about they were covered, but
racist? You mean factual?
I'm glad you. Boys, come on. That was just out of nowhere. Come on, it was uncalled for. I'm the one who gets to make uncalled for racism. Okay?
I have an Asian teammate. It's okay.
Oh, hey,
fuck you do.
Hey,
we gotta get along on now.
Yeah.
Hey,
yes.
What are you saying, Braden?
Side note.
Yep.
The state dance for New Jersey is square dancing. That's the official state dance.
Not bad. That's actually not bad. That's not that bad.
I knew it. They can't even come up with something original. They took something from the South and then put it on their goddamn back. They saw what we were doing down here. That we were boot scooting, boogieing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's something we do now because we're rural. We have agriculture in our state. We're the garden state."
What's the dance of California? What's the dance of California?
I don't know, and I don't give a goddamn shit, but all I know is New Jersey's is square dancing, and that is not approved by me.
They say, we kicked your ass in the Civil War, now we're stealing your dance. So
damn, that's crazy.
I wanted to say a word, but I can't say it. So we're just going to keep moving on. Back to the event, boys. Brandon, good fun fact. Keep those coming.
I like that.
So let's go to DMG's weekend. We've talked about your practice leading up to it. Let's talk about the games now.
First game versus Vendetta.
At the end, but DMG maybe one of the closest weekends of paintball you can physically have. Like being
literally
everything, every game, the outcome. Like close.
I'm very excited to truly go into this.
Is the adjective we can describe DMG's weekend. So let's start with your guys' first game, Vendetta. Was that first game? Was that the first one? Or
first game Vendetta. We were playing really well against those guys. What?
Did they have the Guy Fawkes masks? Like the V for Vendetta masks? That should have been their logo.
Cool.
And if it's not, I don't like that team.
No. They did not have that, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I don't like that team.
Right. Don't like that team. But so let me tell you. So the first point
I need the first 2 points. Trombones. I need the wah wah on the soundboard.
Dude, I miss the soundboard so much. But anyway, so we go up 2-0. And like our first 2 points feel so fucking good, right? And then
everyone's flowing. We're connected out there.
We're flowing. We get confidence. And there are some people on our team that I'm not gonna name names, but wanted to beat these guys so bad. Where like I wouldn't say that the rage
Steven Hatch
was not me. No, I wouldn't say that the rage overcame them.
Obviously, buddy. I was trying to get rid of I was trying to give him a false scent.
It was me. It was me.
Yeah, there we go.
It was me.
You gotta agree.
It was me. But so we got to the point where it's like some people wanted to win, wanted to beat this team so bad. Not only beat them, but like kind of beat them down, right? And sure as shit, dude, that the dominoes started to fall, right? Where people started to reach a little bit harder than what they should, and dude, just like in any kind of semi-pro paintball. Once you lose the first body at the tournament, dude, your life is so much harder when you're a 4-on-5, right? And then didn't help. I got a fucking minor penalty for a visor hit, and then boom, dominoes started fucking falling, right? We ended up losing that match, and it's like, bro, we should not have fucking lost that match, Right.
Hatch, I hate to say it, but the first game that you wear the new Master Chief, it gives you a visor hit.
It happened at practice, so it wasn't at the event.
I'm just saying, maybe you should go back to the OG Master Chief and stop,
and let me tell you,
remaking things and spit into the face of God. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you, it was the minor penalty was so fast. Like I'm doing thing, I get hit, I'm fighting. I get clipped in the visor. I look over at the ref. He immediately throws a minor. I just looked at him, and obviously it's in the rulebook. It's like the player it's the courtesy of the player to call themselves out, right?
So true. I'm wondering if this is one of those things where if you were watching from the third person perspective, where if it was like hit, looks at ref, looks back, looks at ref, looks back. Minor thrown. Because and I hate to say that, Hatch, but a lot of people do that when you're in the situation and speed up and
I will never not count that as a factor. But what it felt so fast. Like I was like, damn, that guy was not fucking around.
Dude, paintball games have a way to do that though too. There is something about depending on whatever division you're in, once the time goes on the clock and the match starts, like if you're in it and you're trying to win that game, it'll fucking that match will go over in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It won't, but it'll feel like that to you. Like those points just go by so quick.
Absolutely.
Even the long ones, it'll be like, I've been in my bunker for 4.5 minutes already. What the fuck? Okay, we got to do something, boys. Like time just goes by.
4.5 minutes on a tournament X-ball match. Bro, you're running low. You're playing hopper ball at this point. That's where it's like the game's getting quiet. People are like,
if anything, that's more so what gives it away. Of like this is getting really long. Like I have one pod. What the fuck is going on?
It's like I'm shooting something happen. Yep, I'm shooting my gap. I reach back. I'm like, oh my god! I reach all the way over to the complete opposite side of my pack to get my last pod. I'm like, holy shit! Let's fucking make something happen.
That's my favorite thing too, because you could tell a player who is just holding a single lane by the opposite hand pod grab, because you could tell it's like you're stacking up your pack ready to grab from both sides if you have to.
Yep.
But you're just on that lane for the whole entire point to where you're like, oh shit, I gotta fucking dislocate my fucking arm to try and get this pod so I can keep holding this lane.
Definitely.
Yeah, it can get funny. Funny thing, speaking with that, I don't know how much you guys watched the Go Sports footage this past weekend, but
definitely a little bit.
They had a couple really good segments in between games, these mic'd up segments that they did from
I loved it.
The past event. Essentially, if you watched any of my mic'd up videos, it's that, but just really well done, because Go Sports did, and they have more production value. They were great. One of my favorite ones I saw all weekend, though, was they had Mouse mic'd up for an AC Diesel game. They have the moment where Kyle slides into his bunker with him. The comms are great on it. From a tactical and competitive standpoint, because obviously Kyle and Mouse, they've worked together for so long. So hearing those two guys,
got that chemistry,
kind of hearing their brains work together, that was really cool. The other thing that made me laugh though was the candid nature of it. At the end, it gets to the point, Mouse and Kyle, they're hanging out for a second. They're kind of big body. No one's shooting at them. They're just like, what's going on? Where are the guys at? Okay, you can't make that play because then that'll happen. They're doing the whole thing.
Hey, be careful the closet.
Someone starts shooting at them. They both jump back into the bunker, and Mouse, big body, almost pushes Kyle out of it. And the last thing he says, he's like, okay, well, just go to the closet right now at least, which is code word for, get the fuck out of my bunker, Kyle.
Yes, and let me tell you, so Kyle could not get that Velcro to latch on and putting the pod in his pack. Bro, he could not get it in.
Times he was like, oh yeah, I got you. At
that point he's like, he gave up. He's like, fuck it.
Puts the pod in yeah, bro, I got you. Okay, Velcro won't go, but the pod's in there.
He's like, fuck, good enough for me. He's like, well, I put it in.
Great capture from Go Sports on that one, so.
Absolutely.
That was going on during the pro games. But back to you guys, Vendetta. You started to step off the gas.
I wouldn't say we stepped off the gas. It was we weren't using as much teamwork as we possibly could.
Opposite way, kind of.
We weren't using as much teamwork as we could. I talked to Paul about it. Me and him weren't using the operations that we usually would. Right. Once we went 2-0, and then they started to bounce back a little bit. We just kind of went quiet. And we just started playing individual paintball. Right.
I mean, I've seen DMG do this in multiple games, though.
Yes,
I've seen many iterations
speciality,
of DMG, and not just semi-pro, pro guys as well. I've seen you guys go up, 2, 3, 4 points on a team and just let them come right on back. And it's fucking hard to watch, man.
It's hard to fucking do, right? It's like
well, then stop it.
I know, right?
Because here's the thing, Hatch. I don't get to. I just get shot by your opponents trying to shoot you fuckers. Okay,
right?
I have to sit there and take it.
It was just one of those things where it's definitely a heartbreaking loss. Where it's like, dude, we should have fucking won. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, especially because they were the lowest seed in the bracket.
Yes,
like,
for sure.
Like, that's the one you have to win.
Absolutely, and there were some people where they wanted to beat them so bad. Absolutely,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, last year, bruh. Not even right. I would say on paper we were that fucking shitty team all last year and the year before.
Nah, on paper we were that dog. You know what I mean? False confidence. Yeah.
Dogness makes greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to divisional paintball. Doesn't matter how good you are. Dump your loader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So
wear
now
chain.
Now we've learned where that difference is. So the difference is right between that level of semi-pro and the level of semi-pro that we've learned how to play now is like, dude. Sure, we can fucking shoot for 4 minutes. Play us in hopper ball.
Yeah,
play us when we're
no, but that's
exactly
what paintball comes down to.
Exactly.
Because let's be real. I mean, past D3, D2, people aren't dumb enough to make mistakes to run into lanes. It'll happen. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's not something you can bet on. Whereas, like, if you're in D4 and D5, if you lock down a field, guys are going to run into those lanes. They're going to get antsy. Yeah. They're going to want to try to make something happen. They're going to make a mistake.
Yes, they're not going to check off the trap.
They're not giving you that mistake. They're just like, okay, right? Cool. I know you're there. I'm going to sit here and just let you waste your paint, and we'll set something up somewhere else. Like, it's
in semi-pro, to recognize a trap, if there's a gap that you can't check off yourself, it's like, yo, Brando, can you check this bunker off for me? Right, the level of teamwork is so much more in depth in semi-pro when you get to that higher rank.
When you're watching Go Sports, that's where you see the D1 come off the wire for a second and head check the inside. It's usually trying to get info for like his 2 or maybe even something cross field that they don't necessarily have eyes on themselves.
And absolutely, and the thing is, right, just like that, like what you said that with that, Ryan, I'm gonna add to that. You can't just switch willy nilly.
No,
you have to be like, hey, Brando, watch this zone. I'm gonna switch and check, and then he's like, "Hey, I got it." And I'm like, "Sweet." Now that he's got it, because it tightens everything up to where there's zero excuse for that person moving. You know what I'm saying? And it is
also last thing. Make sure your homie actually does the move. Like I've seen a lot of times too. Don't just trust you say something and he instantly does it. Like make sure there's a confirmation, and that's like a big thing in paintball. If your dude can't see you, confirm with him. If he's like, hey, can you watch the inside? Like, yeah, Brandon, I got you. I got the inside. Like, make sure he knows, okay, cool. All right, we're good. Now I can fucking do shit over here. Because, man, the amount of times I've seen people be like, Brando, watch the inside. Okay, he's watching the inside. I got this. And then, boom, someone runs up the highway because, the move never was actually taken over.
One thing that my teammate Marv does that I think is so good is when I get his attention and he's like, and he acknowledges it, he goes, Roger, got it, right? And he's like, Roger, I got it.
Something
and
a lot of good twos do. It's just because
that shows Marv's experience at the pro level.
Agree, and also, but like Hatch, how confident does that make you as a 1? Instead of just like
so much.
Marv, kill 2, whiskey, fucking tango, foxtrot. That's what we got. Marv, if you hear nothing, that's scary, because now you're just
like, motherfucker's probably dead.
Is Marv still alive? Like, goddamn, I hope he's there, but you don't want to check because now you're losing your pressure. Whereas if you say that and then you just hear, okay, Hatch, I got you. Whiskey, tango, kill 2. I got you, Hatch.
Yep, makes me feel so much better to where I'm like, okay, all right, sweet. Right. Let me just roll my shoulders back a little bit, take a breath, because it's like at that point I'm being taken care of.
Mm. And it's such a small thing, but really it does mean something on the paintball field. It's just it's two-way communication in life, all right? You don't want to talk to the back of your fucking loader. If you do, you're a loser.
Absolutely, right? Marv quote, right? With some of the Marv's
the goat.
And dude, let me tell you, dude, I was actually worried for a little bit. The first event after practice, Marv tweaked his back during the practice, and we're like, oh shit! So he scheduled a chiropractor appointment at the event, went to the doctor at the event, fucking gets the magic guru, you know, and then they're like, all right, Chim's like, run snake off break, and sure as shit he did, right? So shout out to Marv with that. That is some warrior shit.
Probably heard of it, but yeah, Marv's one of those dudes. You'll never know when he's in pain. Like,
you never know, right?
And like Jordan Boyum, another guy. Like the only thing that took Jordan Boyum down was his ACL literally breaking in two. Like if it was together, he would have got off the field. It's just those dudes are so fucking. You know, there's guys like that.
And that's the beauty of our team is he's able to tell us that.
Yeah,
like,
and if
he's involved.
If he's really hurting and struggling, he lets you know that he's in pain. He's hurting.
I hate to say this because it sounds bad, complain. But it's like when your dog shows pain, because it's like, oh, you don't do that. Oh, okay. Because
should not be doing that.
It's a like dominance things in dogs. They don't want to like show their master like the alpha in their group pain. It's a weird social dynamic thing they have. So yeah, if your dog is like, my fucking paw hurts, man, take him to the vet. His paw is killing him, bro. Like, go get that man some help.
Right. So where were we at?
We're just the beginning of the last game. I mean, we've talked about it a bit, but Vendetta came back on you guys. So that was the first game on Friday.
Fucked us up, right? And we like all of us are pissed because it's like, dude, we should have won that match. Right, we're shaking hands, right, and they're fucking cheering, hell yeah, fuck yeah, and which rightfully so, they beat us, right? They beat us,
fuck, yeah, fuck. Right.
So sorry, my bad. I gotta watch.
No, you're good. I'm just quotes from the team of winning. Hell, fuck, yeah, fuck.
That's exactly what it was, basically.
All right. And well, it's not all bad because you guys do bounce back on Friday.
Right. Who'd so we bounced back, and let me tell you, we should have straight smacked these guys. I was the reason why this match was even close. And
what'd you do?
Dude,
penalties, we're an hour into the podcast. We haven't even talked about 3 of your games yet. Let's
sorry,
get this pace going, brother.
So I'm just saying, dude. It was like the game. The reason why the game was close is because I kept getting fucking minors. Right? There was one point where.
Why did you keep getting minors?
Right. There was one that was so ridiculous. There was one.
Sleep with the ref's girlfriend or some shit? What's going on here, dog?
Hell nah, bro.
Boyfriend?
But maybe. But
I knew it.
There was one where Aaron runs to the Dorito corner off the break. He dies quick. I fill in like really like so fast where he's not even fully out of the bunker yet. I get shot in the pack as I'm going in, but I don't. It's pack hit, right? And I'm telling Aaron, I'm like, Aaron, get the fuck out of my way as I'm sliding into this fucking grimy trench. And the ref goes, minor for talking, and then I get a minor for talking, and I was like, oh, okay, right? And then so boom, now we're fucking 2-on-5. It's over, right? There were just multiple points like that where I just kept getting a fucking penalty, and it was just hurting the team. It was so bad. It was I had such a big self-reflection of myself this past weekend because I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Right? And the reason why...
Yeah, I don't know, man, because penalties are so weird in paintball. They really do follow some people. And it's like, it's not even like you're trying to play dirty. Refs just look at Hatch more than they look at other players, I feel like.
I don't even want to make that a fucking fact. I don't even want to make that an excuse.
There's other people, too, who, like, they just fucking... birds follow them. I don't know what it is, and maybe they are playing dirty. Maybe you are, Hatch. I don't know. I'm not in the bunker with you. I'm not in your mind, but man, it just seems to fucking chase you at times.
Dude, and like the one with the visor hit, like I was like, holy shit, these guys are not messing around. It felt so fucking fast, right? And then
the second game, you guys were on a different field, though, right?
Yeah, second game we were on a different field. And,
okay, so different reffing crew.
So different reffing crew. This one, so before we go out, and I'm not trying to like put this as like a slight, this reffing crew was without a doubt way worse. That field was way worse. Like there were people running to the snake off the break, getting hit, and the refs are like blind, like not even seeing it, kind of thing, right? So
it was a lower divisional field already,
without a doubt, and dude, tied up. There's because of me, we're tied up. 26 seconds left. Chim is like, "What's up, boys? We want to fucking go for it?" And I said, "Hell yeah! If we don't go for it, we're fucking gay." And sure, he's like, "All right, Hatch, you go here. Caden, you shoot this. Run up." And Marv goes snake off the break. I go 50 Dorito off the break. I bunker the two dudes down the Doritos. Marv crawls all the way down, shoots guys. Caden launches from the back center. Full on fucking belly flops right on the bunker. Fucking stakes go over. Dude, there's a guy still alive in the snake side can. aiming at Caden's face, but with no paint in his loader.
Only brought out the loader.
Did you dry firing?
He's dry firing, and he's like, then I get a penalty for walking too slow, and I'm like, what the fuck, right? Because
we knew you were holding lanes. Come on, buddy. That's the oldest.
I'm the only guy on the Dorito side. I'm the only guy on the Dorito side, right?
We're for the Sea Dogs. What the hell?
That's different. But I was gonna say, Brandon, you're a center player. No, but then, that's the oldest trick in the book. If it's a slow or quick last point, and you're the first tack up the middle, you're wild.
You're taking the paint.
Walking out of that shit, man.
No,
you're fucking.
So no joke,
I'm
right?
Sorry, guys.
The ref is running at me, like calling a penalty on me. The guy that I just shot in the Dorito has a huge hit on his chest, is like looking around. No ref is doing shit. He's like, okay, switches hands, gets rid of the hit, starts shooting at Caden, running down. And thank God that guy was just missing like a motherfucker. And just Caden hits the buzzer.
Paint he was shooting.
Must have been, right? And by HK. And
it wasn't the premium HK paintball.
Caden hits the bunker. The guy in the Dorito is like fucking screaming that he shot him, where it's like, I don't know how he didn't shoot him. The guy in the snake side can is literally aiming at his face, but with no paint in his loader, and Caden just gets the buzzer clean. It was insane.
And that was the winning point?
That was the winning point to put us up.
I mean, you guys were tied, though, so, like, I guess worst case there, pending a swing point OT, but it's good you guys get... It's always good to get it done in relegation, because it's now you don't have to go and have that next breakout... fucking you're throwing the next rock, paper, scissors, hoping, you're getting guys alive. It just adds so many variables. So, yeah.
Absolutely. We're confident in our fast points. We are all very, very confident in our fast points. Like we did it last event, right? The Tampa event, literally 26 points with Brando.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you brought up HK there.
Yep.
We love HK Army on this podcast. I love HK Army. We talk about HK Army all the time. Whoever was the marketing head behind HK Army, so I'm guessing this is probably a Kwitsky, a Danny Lincoln, one of those guys in that department, maybe a Kenny, a Josh. I don't know the man who behind this decision. A booster pack of trading cards is called a booster pack. It's not called a trading card deck. 14 random cards in a foil pack is called a booster pack, not a trading card deck. You dumb motherfuckers! God, that pissed me the fuck off. Bro. It's one of the coolest trading card products I've ever seen in paintball. And you guys can't even get the terminology right. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's try a little harder next time. I loved the drop May 4th. It was cool. It was great. Other disappointment, and I'm just going to be honest here. This is a criticism as a person who would have to pay money for this. If you're going to offer something at a $100 value, so to get the booster pack, you had to buy $100 worth of their drop. Totally fine. That's what they want to put out there. You can do that. You have to have something be available to buy at $100. If you wanted to get the booster pack, you had to spend at least $130 worth of product. Guys, that's scammy marketing. It just is. Like, I don't like when companies do that. No. The headbands, they're awesome products. That's not the thing. What gets me is you're making people spend more money on your product to get the thing that people really want, which is the trading pack of cards. Just sell them by themselves. They would have sold out in an instant. You could have fucking charged $20 per them. People would have bought those in a heartbeat. You would have made 100%. Your money back. But it's scummy to think that your customers are kind of dumb, that they don't see to get this thing you have to spend at least $20 to $30 more with shipping and taxes. I don't like that as a consumer, and this is the Linus Tech Tips in me. I'm calling people out when they do stuff I don't like. I give you guys credit all the time when you do things I do like. This is one I thought was a bad miss. So that's that's my take. I'm always I always try to be fair in calling out these companies. No one pays me money, and so doing so, I get to say what I want.
Absolutely. I didn't know you had to spend $100 for it either. I thought that it was just
and that was disappointing because I definitely wanted to try to get my hands on some of those. I love cards, and I thought it was a very cool collectible product.
Star Wars,
something we could do on the podcast. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't have $120 lying around to buy 3 dry fit shirts. I just didn't, and that's the truth. They're cool.
You guys see the Star Wars commercial? You guys see the Star Wars
designs?
Commercial? Marky's like.
It's all sick. I have zero complaints about the products that they offered. It was just, I think it was kind of a gimmicky and not scam, because that's way worse of a connotation, but just kind of was a gimmicky sales tactic.
It kind of rubbed you the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, and I think there probably were other consumers who felt the same way. So, just sell the packs, HK. We would have fucking you guys would have sold out in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
honestly, sell them at $25 a pack. I would have bought 4. There you go. There's $100 from me. You would have got the same amount. Like, I mean, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
I would have bought them.
I would have not been upset in any way, shape, or form with that.
Were the packs even there at the event?
No, so that was the other thing. I thought that they were gonna like do a drop at the event or something. But
I was looking
it was
for
just
them.
all online stuff. So yeah, that's yeah.
Because you remember you texted me, you were like,
they bundled that opportunity a little bit. Yeah, because I thought that would be sick.
And I was looking for them.
Because it makes the most sense. I thought it would be like a special drop they did at the NXL or something like that.
Look what Enemy of the State does with their headbands, right?
Exactly.
People would fucking lining up for that shit. People would be
one of the
lining up for
products
that.
in paintball last year was the Yu-Gi-Oh drop that they did with I Hate Paintball. Was the Enemy of the State?
The Blue Eyes White Dragon fucking headband, dude.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I loved that. The Enemy of the State Yu-Gi-Oh clash was
they legit foil wrapped multiple headbands, including one of 5s and one of 10.
Yes,
or one
the
of
Blue
1s.
Eyes White Dragon was so fucking sick.
Yeah,
I looked at that headband and I was like, oh my jeez.
I love things like that. Like,
that was a beautiful made headband.
That's a cool way to take trading card inspirations and things and not say, hey, give us $120 for 14 cards.
Yeah, and dude, with what Enemy of the State does with their customization, that's like the most customized.
Also chill as fuck. They've literally ripped open Pokemon cards with us, me and Ant, when we did that series at World Cup last year. Mikey, one of the guys over at Enemy of the State, was one of the guys we did it with. So,
one thing I know about Enemy of the State, if I am correct, Ryan, when we went to Medieval Times, they were the group that was directly in front of us. If I am correct,
they were the other paintball group there. So yeah,
they are also fellow Fuck the Green Knights.
That's true.
Fuck the Green Knight.
Fuck the Green Knight. They are fellow Fuck the Green Knights.
The hate that we have for that fucking Green Knight. God, you guys remember that smug little prick was walking towards us at the end?
Bro.
He just
piece
looked
of
up.
Shit, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, he had blood from his lip. He looked back at us, smiled, and goes like,
we made that man's week. I hope you know that. He went home to his girlfriend that night and said, we had the best crowd ever tonight. They were booing me. Like, I'm telling you, as someone who's done theater before, that's the best feeling ever. When you get an audience to fucking hate you.
He didn't go home to he went home to his boyfriend. That's for sure.
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but
and he probably went home to his fucking anime fucking body pillow, fucking weirdo.
All right. Well, it was Stephen Hatch and Brando Baird who said those comments. So I just want to make that for the record when I get subpoenaed.
Well, no, it just says here in the notes Ryan wanted us to say that. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even see that. Good eye, Brando.
God damn it, Brandon, you're too good at fucking turning these back around.
I did not even see that. Fine print.
Stop listening to PKA, bro. All right. So it's Friday. You guys go 1-1.
Yeah, Friday we go 1-1.
Let's go through
crazy
this a little bit quicker. We're an hour and a half or hour and 10 minutes into the pod already.
So then our third game, which is Outlaw OTP, right? Those are a good group of guys. Devin Stewart's on that team. I'm pretty sure Nico Hyde. I don't think Nico Hyde was there at this event, but I saw him playing for that team.
Hashtag enjoy
the
paintball.
Last event, right? Yep. Hashtag enjoy paintball. And Philly Shredder's on that team. That guy's a fucking baller from back in the day, for sure. Right? He played on Infamous for a little bit, Trade My Gun.
These all sound like losers to me.
I think they're all fucking great players. But if I'm being honest, we straight smacked them around. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Like, I scouted that team. I scouted their snake side, and I'm like, I went to Caden, Marv, Paul, and Wong. I was like, dude, Devin Stewart will their guy will go to the snake, and Devin Stewart will go to the snake one and just stand over the top willy nilly. He thinks he's safe.
He thinks he's Archie.
And so we would pick on that guy to where every single time he was in the secondary as a snake, pick him off, run the snake guy down, flip the field, and then fuck him up, right? And we did that to a T and slaughtered those guys. Right. So good game to those guys. It was a great confidence booster for us because we were like,
I have nothing to say about paintball scouting. That's not a topic that I can go super in depth on.
That's okay.
So unfortunately, I can't hit that one back.
That's okay.
Hey, look here.
I'm
going to be honest.
Thank you,
watching paint dry might be a more interesting conversation.
Not even close. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, no, it's so important, especially in the semi-pro division, or as you get higher in the divisions, to be able to scout your teams. It sucks that there was no live stream for the semi-pro field, so you can't go back and watch it. Like, you got to be there at the field.
Yep.
And sometimes, we have obligations. pitting for impact and stuff. That not able
Brandon,
to.
You weren't even
scout.
at this event. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's the obligations that we have.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so Brandon and Hatch have the obligation of going to scout. Well, Cedar has the obligation of making sure that Impact's guns are full of air.
Sometimes it's that. Sometimes I got to be there. Sometimes Brando's got to be there.
Most of the time, it's what I just described.
You
guys forget I watched all of Impact's games so far this year on Go Sports, and when I look at the pits, I see a lot of Papa Cedar and a lot of Marv. I don't see a lot of other people.
There was one day where I stayed late to make sure I made sure that the gear was all packed while they
played early games, bro.
Yeah, so I
got you. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? They had 2 shifts, yeah.
Yeah, right. So we have we do. We have an AM and a PM shift.
But this is what I love about this is my perspective on paintball events, and it's your guys' perspective too. This is a business event we are going to. It is not a fucking vacation, bro. You guys are all right, AM crew, we're leaving at 4:45. PM crew, you guys get a 7 call at
U-Haul's leaving at 5:06 max.
Yeah, it is. It's so fucked up. God,
absolutely. And I wouldn't call it a well-oiled machine. I'd call it a
slave trade.
I would call it a medium lubed dildo. That's what I would probably describe it as.
Hold up.
Not a well-oiled machine, a medium lubed dildo. That's probably how I would describe it.
I really hope our audience heard that joke, Brandon. I can't re-say it, but that was too damn good. That was a good one.
If you guys caught it, love you.
If you got it, you got it. Well, fuck, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay,
so good scouting. You
OTP,
do stay
fucked them up,
which was good.
Which is good for the spread. You need that,
especially
very, very good for the spread. On the first
we were
day.
looking
That's
at it, we're like, man, fuck, we
builder.
gotta not only win these games, try to win them big.
Which, spoiler alert, spread doesn't fucking mean a piece of shit or anything at fucking NXL events. But we'll talk about that after one more game, which was the 4th game you guys played. Yep. Going into this one, you're 2-1 coming in.
Yeah, we're playing Blastortion, where it's basically Distortion, Blast. Their entire starting 5 is Blast Camp. All the ones that didn't go to Heat, right? Mm. So,
but I'm just saying in general, you're 2-1 at a paintball event. You know what you have to do. Right,
exactly. We're like, fuck, we have to.
There's one outcome you want to do.
We have to win this shit, right? We don't even want to leave it up to any of this bullshit. We're playing this game, and I wouldn't say we're winning these points convincingly. The points that they beat us were grinders, and there were some points where we beat them, where they had the upper hand, and then they had the upper hand and we capitalized on it, right? There was a point where it was 3-on-5, where it was me and our new guy, Aaron. Shout out to Aaron, dude. He fucking played lights out this weekend. It was 5-on-3. Marv gets shot. Now it's a 5. Now it's like a 5-on-2. Fucking I shoot a guy.
It would be the Baird way.
It would be, yeah.
Right. I go down, shoot a guy.
Be a key component of it, and then have someone come in for one weekend that you can't possibly be at, then take over the team, license the name behind your back, get a trademark for it, and then sell it as his company for the next 30 years of time.
Whoa.
Yeah, that would be the Baird way.
Whoa, Dave DeHaan's son? No.
What?
I know where he's at.
We both do, Brandon. Yeah. It's a courtroom. So, but Hatch, you guys are playing 4th round. You tight games, tight matches. Tight games,
and it gets to the point to where Paul trades out with a guy 4-on-2. I shoot 2 guys, then Aaron, or I shoot a guy and then leaves Aaron in 1-on-2, right? Snaps that guy out. Now he's in a 1-on-1, and we're up a point. And he I can tell his mindset. He looks back at the clock. He's like, oh, we're up a point. I don't have to do shit. But then he said, you know what? Never mind. Boink, snapped the guy out. Nasty. And then won that point, 2-on-1, gave us the lead, right? And then sure as shit, tie game again, right? And this is where the bad part happened. This is where I'm not gonna lie. I fucking cost us. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. There's I think 4 minutes left in the final point. It's a long ass point, right?
They were long points.
They were very, very. Every point was so long, right? Because they
were watching the live score update.
Yeah, and it's every point's going like 5. I'm like 5 minutes. Holy shit, guys! God damn, and stressful for me.
Right, it just like what I was saying earlier. Those guys are very much like us, where we everybody knows how to shoot for 5 minutes straight.
Technically, the last time you guys played, a lot of the people on that team, you guys were up like 4 points, and they had to fight all the way back and beat you guys.
Yeah, right. And that
sounds like it was a lot different of a matchup this time.
And that definitely showed a lot of our inexperience at that point, right? But now we are way different ballers now, right? I mean, we still ended up losing the game, but I remember it was like time's ticking down. I look at the clock. I look back. I see 15 seconds left. I'm like, okay, right? I look back. I see 17. I remember this. I see 17. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to win this shit. I peek at the very bottom of the Dorito, right, to where no one can even my ear's on the ground. I see the guy in the middle, like his body language looks like he wants to go. He doesn't even see me. He looks like he's going up in the middle, right? Gun down, and I'm like, oh, gun down. I'm gonna go stab the guy in front of me. I run the guy down, and then he was so his gun is pointed. The guy I'm running down, his gun is pointed at me, but his face is the other way, right? And so I run him down, I shoot him, and then he shoots the fuck out of me, and he's like, no fucking way, that's a fucking major, right? And then so a major penalty gets pulled on me, and apparently I got shot from the middle guy, but I'm like, bro, the guy had his gun down, right? He didn't even shoot me until I already stabbed that guy. So then major penalty comes my way, right? It felt so good. I'm not going to say that I didn't get hit because maybe the ref genuinely saw something, right? Then I get a major under 60 seconds, swing point, we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heartbreaking loss.
That
was fucking devastating.
I don't, there wasn't a live stream of it. There's no context of it for me and Brando, so it's hard to talk on it because honestly, man, you could have been hit. I mean,
absolutely,
that's paintball.
Right?
We all know, like, shit does happen. It could have been a clean break. Like, we've all seen that before with ourselves when you're reffing games. Like,
yeah, and
you 100% see a break off someone, but you can't find any evidence, and you're like, what do I do? Okay, you just gotta come with me, buddy.
Yeah. And the move genuinely felt so good, but I was like, holy fuck! And I'm like running over to the fucking head ref. I'm telling the refs, I'm like, dude, that guy didn't shoot me. This guy shot me. And then the refs that called the penalty on me aren't saying anything. They're just pointing to the head ref, rightfully so, right? Yep. That's what they should do, right?
That's their job,
right? So I go over to the head ref, and he's like, hold on, whoa, like let's fucking chill out. And now all of a sudden, like,
let's chill out. Brandon, you weren't there. I wasn't there.
Chill. Hatch is not chill.
I am not chill.
Just coming into that conversation.
No, because I'm like,
I don't think he won himself any favors in the first part of that instance.
No, because I'm like, dude, that motherfucker wasn't even looking at me. How the fuck is that a major, right? And then he's like, all right, let's figure it out. And then the distortion coach is like, well, that guy fucking shot you. I'm like, bro, no, he fucking didn't. He's fucking jogging through the fucking middle like Elmer Fudd, and then sees me stab the guy, and then shoots me. Right? But that's all what it felt like. Honestly, dude, it could be completely different in complete hindsight.
It's just hard to talk about when you're the only person who was
exactly
there.
Right.
It's
And dude, I'm a man of peace to where, dude, if genuinely I got hit before, bro, I'll admit it. I have no problem going back on saying that even though it felt good, in hindsight, bro, anything can happen.
I just love that I'm a man of peace. I don't think a lot of your opponents feel that way, but that's fair.
I don't give a fuck about my opponents.
Well, on the field, it's death.
He's a man of peace, people. It's a man of peace.
I am a man of peace.
Yeah, off the field,
but off the field.
Peaceful.
It's a war in the nets, bro.
It's a war in the nets. That's all I'm saying, buddy. So that's making me laugh. But yes, so major under 60 seconds. You guys lose the point. Lose the game.
And then
point, obviously.
At this point, there's a trifecta of ties.
Hold up, because you're gonna tell this story really bad.
I have a video of Cedar explaining it.
Cool. Not even that. Just let me give some context for our audience in case they don't know what's going on. At this point in time, yes, there's 3 teams in your guys' bracket that all went 2-2. The top team went 4-0, and the bottom team went 0-4. So it is now obviously down to the tiebreakers. We go to margin. We go to head-to-head. We got to go to those.
Spread.
Margin, that's what I was talking about. But so we go to that first. If you look on the sheet, and if you do the calculations, DMG's spread was 1 full point. New York Brave spread 0.75.
It's exactly what GLI has.
I'm not the big, I'm not a mathematician. I never went to college. I don't claim to be a smart person. But in my head, 1 is a greater number than 0.75. So So that's weird. So that tiebreaker you guys should have won. The second tiebreaker, head to head, you guys beat New York Brave.
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened here, NXL?
But it was a 3-way. So head to head is fine if it's just 2 teams, but since it was 3 teams or more, it goes to the next tiebreaker, which is point margin, but not overall point margin. It's only within the 3 teams that were tied at 2 and 2.
So basically, the point spread for everywhere else doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, but if it was still tied after that, then it would go to total overall point margin. So
that's fucking gay.
Why is it not
the first tiebreaker before overall point spread is in within those teams that are in the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that does makes more sense now. I think that's a stupid rule, but
I think it should be flipped. I think it should be overall.
I think it should be overall first too, depending on And then if you guys are both tied, you did the same amount in the tournament. That okay, let's go to who is better against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. But let me just say, I'm not even gonna. That is complete bullshit. I'm not. Fuck the point spread. I cost us, and I'm gonna take 100% accountability on it. I cost us. Those matches wouldn't even have been fucking close, and who's to say we would have won that distortion game, right? If I didn't get that penalty, right? We take it to overtime, we run it, right?
Well, I will say this: I think you guys might have kind of dodged a bullet on this one, to be honest, because Matt Jarula is bored as fuck and is sandbagging in semi-pro, and Preferred Mob kind of shit on every single team that they played on over the weekend. I'm not even joking. I don't really give
a fuck about them, to be honest.
Look, we got gluten on our side, so
yeah, straight up,
so
bro.
That's the thing. If you guys play them, we're gonna need to get some bread out. We're gonna need to get it around the pits, start spreading that on our bodies. Maybe put that in the paint as we're running them down. But like, I always feel that way when a team picks up like a very recently top pro player and they're like,
pro assistants.
We're winning semi-pro now. And it's like, well,
that's just like the thing that people were talking shit on earlier, right? Where it's like pro assistants.
Yeah, if I brought Faker into my fucking Iron League of Legends games, I would probably win 100% of those too. That would probably happen.
You can't really compare it to that because it's not like he's jumping down to Iron.
No, he's not, but he was also in in finals for the pro division, multiple events, within the past couple years. So it's not like this guy is a bad paintball player. Like, and even in the top division, he's a pretty decent paintball player. So, I mean, and again, I'm not necessarily taking anything away from Preferred Mob. They did play pretty well over the weekend. I mean, scores fucking show it. Yeah. But
absolutely.
But yeah, so
I would have loved to play
Money makes the world go round.
Absolutely right. So
pays for people to show up and be, mercenaries on your D5 protocol subs paintball team.
But let me just say,
that reference, Hatch.
What?
I said thanks for getting that reference.
Of course. Amen.
Brandon doesn't get it.
Nope.
Protocol Subs. It's a divisional paintball team. Its coach is Marcelo Margot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Every player on it is sponsored. So yeah. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm sorry, bro. Why is Dan Bilzerian playing paintball? And why are we giving him attention for it?
I can't even hate. I would love to be sponsored when I play D5. I would have killed to be sponsored to play D5. So. They're living out my dream.
Sponsored, fuck them.
Yeah, like they're those guys living out their dream.
I can have it. All right.
Absolutely, you can, Ryan. Absolutely.
No, and I will say this: from some of the content and stuff I've seen, it seems like Dan has been a very chill and cool person around paintball and has been kind of a good ambassador. So, hey, if he's doing good things, I can't, I only give people shit when they do bad things actively. I don't like the guy, but hey, if he's doing good things for paintball, cool. I can be wrong. But yeah, the whole thing is silly to me, dude.
It's very interesting. Weird. So interesting.
Hey, Marcel, instead of flying out to Vegas 3 times a month, how about you practice paintball and maybe beat PV Fit? That might help. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's almost like Paintball Fit 4 times a week is playing with all 8 of those members, whereas Impact, Dynasty, Arsenal, any other pro team in the top 8 is not doing that. Yeah, Arsenal's playing good.
I think those guys are definitely taking that next level jump to where they're playing more. Valid still lost the event.
And you know who's second to the event? the French group of players who also play together every week. So it's weird how that seems to be taking kind of a precedent in how you get better at paintball.
I agree, but I think the thing is that it makes that so hard and far-fetched. Just people still live their normal lives, right? There's no pros that are making an oodles on boodles amount of fucking. I don't think there is a whole team that is making like over 100K.
No, yeah, not for the whole squad. But if there is a team that is, it's Impact. That's the one team where you don't have an argument.
So valid, Ryan. So valid.
You chose the one time here where that's not like, yes, if we're talking about, the Hurricanes, fair enough. Those boys, they're putting through work. They're trying to make sure, they can even get to events and play. That's fine.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So we're at practice and, we're playing Impact, right? Sometimes they're fucking cleaning our clock. Sometimes when we win a point, I'm like, I grab my pods, come back to the event, and I'm like, damn. They got paid to get shit on right now. And then just running back to the pits. It's just obviously fun and games, right? Because I love fucking around. But,
no,
yeah.
you mean it, 100%.
Oh,
every time you shoot Tyler, 100%, when the Dorito battle finally happens, you grab your balls, you're like, yeah, suck on that, Tyler. I'm a better player than you.
Yeah, I go, oh my God, is that the real Tyler Panilio? Boink, boink. So, yeah. Tyler Panilio is my favorite Impact player.
I could never hate Ty. Yeah, I could never hate Ty. He's a great dude.
Yeah, he even showed up to our game once for like 2 seconds. But he was there.
He tried. 2 seconds. He tried. Hey,
absolutely.
With an Impact member, that's a lot. So
that is
those guys.
Yeah, I've never seen an Impact. I've never seen an Impact member in my pit except for fucking.
I will say,
Tyler.
Let me pull this up because I want to make sure I quote it correctly. I think it was Xavi's post.
Oh hell yeah! Shout out Xavi.
Yeah. Okay. Did you guys see the black and white fit photo? I'll show it up on the screen real quick. I don't want to show the caption because I'm going to show that in a second. But yeah, so the black and white fit photo. It's not a great version. You can find it on Instagram. Xavi posted. A whole bunch of guys posted. Verbal posted.
Yeah.
Xavi's caption: "Bitch, I'm fit till I die. I can't be nobody other." Here's the difference. I believe him when he says that.
100%.
I don't believe Dalton Vanderbilt when he says that for the 7th time about a different team.
D-I-E.
So the difference is I believe that Chavez won't play for another team unless it is life-changing financial situation.
I agree. And I think that what he's doing...
There's a difference there.
I think what PB Fit is doing is may not be as financial as what Impact can give you, but dude, you're richer than any of those motherfuckers on Impact.
It's not that. I think the reason why people are rooting for paintball, they've won 3 in a row, and people aren't turning on them like we've seen in the past. I mean, Dynasty won 3 in a row, and people instantly were like, "Fuck, they're winning again. This is annoying."
It's like seeing Luke Skywalker win. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But the difference is because Fit doesn't do it from a place of ego, bro. 100%. That's honestly what it is.
All heart.
Fit doesn't, like, Scott Stewart didn't go on that field fucking like, God's above me. I'm his chosen warrior. He's looking down on me. No, he said nothing. He filled his loader with paint and he shot Axel. And then he walked off the field and hugged his teammates. And I think that's what's connecting with so many people who watch paintball. Because let's be real, if you're a fan of paintball, you're probably more on the blue collar side of life. There are white collar jobs. There's lawyers. There's people in those types of careers who play our sport. We got surgeons. We got a Brando. But a lot of our guys are, they're more blue collar carpentry type guys, tradesmen, stuff of that sort. So yeah, when you see Mouse make 175K a year and then can't win a game, that does start to rub you the wrong way when you're not making that much, and this is the thing that you would give, your left nut to be able to do at that level. And so I think that's the biggest thing going for Fit is, even, yes, they're winning, but these guys aren't, like, they're not inflated egos. You know where they're going to be this weekend? They're going to be at Paintball Fit practicing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They fucking won less than, however many hours a week ago is, and they're going to be at the field playing. In fact, it's Tuesday. They might be there tomorrow night for Nightball. They may take it off. They may be there, but like the point still stands. It's not that these have been guys who have been chosen by paintball for the last 20 years and been sponsored and given the right positions and money to be in the sport. And let's be real, the love of the sport. I mean, I've talked about it on the show numerous times. Spick and Span Show is arguably not a good piece of content. If you put that against other things in the podcasting universe, it falls flat pretty quickly. But because it is done by Ryan Greenspan and Kyle Spica in the sport of paintball, hundreds of people listen to it weekly. I'm not saying that's wrong. Listen to me carefully. I'm not saying that's wrong. Those guys have given literally their lives to this sport. They
100%.
should be rewarded for that. But the point I'm saying is when you see a group of young kids who are now achieving that same level of success when no one really gave them anything other than a place to practice, like that's really the only thing they've been given. JD gave them a beautiful environment to play at.
And they built that up. They built that
that's
up.
the thing. Yeah, they also work and, fucking keep that place clean. So it's...
Yes.
That's why I love Fit so much. That's why I love those guys. I mean, we've known them for years on the show. We were, Paintball Fit, the first podcast Paintball Fit came on was this one. It wasn't any others.
Absolutely.
And that's why I make the joke at the beginning of the show about, Scott being on Play the Game tonight. But like,
we got a sleeper agent on Play the Game right now.
Yeah, it's just... I genuinely like these guys. And I like a lot of people in paintball, but I don't like everyone. And seeing Scott Stewart have that moment of being a complete hero for his team that he moved from his home state to play paintball for, those are the storylines those are the reasons why I love this sport. I love Alex, I love Ryan, I love Yosh. I'm okay if they never win another event in their lives. And the main reason is they've had their time. And that's, you can call me cynical, you can call me, hateful of the old guys or whatever, but it's okay.
I would say it's very interesting the way you put that. I see what you're saying.
Jordan eventually put up the sneakers, man. Like, yeah. It does happen. Ryan Greenspan eventually will have to put down his paintball marker. I hope it doesn't happen this year. I hope it doesn't happen next year. I want to keep seeing him play, but we finally, for the first time since 2002, are seeing a new group of young kids
a revolution
break
of
into paintball and mess up the game of paintball. That is huge. That is what we needed to survive. Because one day, like I said, Alex and those guys, they will have to retire. They can you can't be 80 playing the game of paintball. So we need fresh young blood to come in, and I'm so happy it's Fit. I'm so happy it's a group of guys who deserve it genuinely for the time and work that they put in. So hats off to Fit. And
they deserve that win.
Real, it was a muddy field in the rain, and you picked Dirty Stew. It was already over.
Let me also just say one thing. I also want to say.
He was playing in the swamp there. He had a location bonus. All right, man.
I want to give a little bit of props to his opponent, Axel. Yep. Man, did he give 150% in that match?
You can never say a bad, not only a bad word about Axel, but just his determination.
Like, I love Scott and I love Axel. Both those guys are my friends. And dude, seeing them pinned against each other like that, the entire house. Let me tell you. Oh, dude, I'm gonna expose everybody in the house. Everybody was like, "Let's go, Axel," because we have connections with Axel and and Oliver, his father, right? But I am like, "Come on, Dirty Stew, that's my fucking boy, right?"
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I only wanted one person to win, but I also was like, "Why does it have to be Axel?"
Yeah,
because I
thought it was gonna be Fedorov.
Dude, Barb said the same thing. I said, bro, there's no way you're putting Fedorov out there when Axel is there. There's no fucking way in hell you're doing that.
The thing is, it's the Tauntauns. And
it's Axel's team.
Yeah.
Axel is Tauntaun. And let me tell you, I think...
He is. And so it's one of those things, like, you're not... Fetty, we're glad you're here. You definitely helped get the team to this position. But there was no one else on that team that was going to take that one-on-one. And I don't think anyone on that team even is upset about that. They're like, this is the man who gives so much of a fucking shit about this game. He should be the one out there giving it, giving it his all.
Genuinely, if he didn't slip, they would have won.
No, if it wasn't raining, Tauntauns win the event.
Well, dude, that's how close it was. Putting his jets on, I thought he was about to take flight. That angle where it's behind the start box, dude, I thought he was about to take off.
Oh yeah, we saw full-on gymnastics there, bro. Fucking just full extension.
Dude, and honestly, bro, like the heartbreak behind that, where it's like he is. You could tell he is desperately throwing his fucking arm over, trying to touch the fucking shit with his barrel, like trying his absolute hardest.
But I think that's the other thing too. You have a guy who just had that moment. No one else in the pits wants it that bad.
Exactly.
Like, you have the dude, you have it now. Okay, man, you know, you weren't by a fucking millisecond. You weren't close enough on that last one. You have another opportunity. Yourself. Go get it again. Yeah. Yep. And so like I'm glad it was the way it was. I'm also glad that it was Scott. I think. Yeah.
I love Scott.
In the booth, they were talking a lot about, you know, obviously Jacob Johnson is a Hormesis one-on-one dueler. Well. Yep. You have Trent Mason, who was literally the kill leader for the event. He is an incredible gunfighter. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad they went with Scott because that man is scrappy. There's a reason his nickname is Dirty Stu, and it's not just because his uniform is dirty. It's because, like, that man has a undeniable, unshakable will that he is going to win paintball. And he's been thinking that since he was in Division 4 playing at Capital Edge.
I knew they were going to put Scott out, right? Because everybody's like, oh, dude, who are they going to put out? We should put Trent out. And I was like, bro, they're 100% putting Scott out. And then you saw him, they switched the screen, and it's him standing there by himself. It's like...
Yeah, with the mask on. And I hate to say it, too, if Colt's down, that's the person I trust most on that team in a one-on-one. You know, and that's not saying anything against Xavi or Trent or the other guys on the team. They're all fantastic gunfighters, but like
Scott just had everything in that moment.
Do you remember when DMG was playing Ironman to make it on Sunday, and it was Al Fernandez versus Dylan Boyle in a one-on-one?
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they put Al Fernandez up there.
I don't know why they did either. Before they even walked onto the field, I knew Dylan won that one-on-one.
He just had...
It was already decided.
It was on his chest. You could see it. Yeah,
it was confidence. It was, you know, I hate that term, but that's what it was. It was this unshakable, unbelievable will of like, Al, fuck you. Like, I am going to fucking come through you right now because my team needs me to win. And I saw the same thing from Scott. The fucking mask on in the pits for 4 minutes, bro, that is you hate someone moment. Like that like every paintball player knows that feeling.
You know who else has that aura?
If you're standing in the pits with your mask on, you're not happy.
And dude, who else has that aura? Jacob Edwards. And he's done exactly what that is.
100%. We've seen it. Yeah. Right. Last time this same situation happened, it was Jacob out there, and we all knew what was going to happen.
Dude, that when it was, I think it was it X Factor in the finals with that? Tom Guest, I think it was Tom Guest he was playing against. Bro, Tom Guest looked fucking terrified. I have a whole conspiracy on why that was why that ended up the way it is. I think that they put Tom Guest out there to be like, yo, play the 2 minutes, stay alive. Let's play the runner up.
Get Jacob off the field. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I thought.
That is a legitimate strategy, personally. Especially with the way it goes is you have 2 minutes, so
you stay alive.
Look, fuck, dude. If you know you're about to play, you know, Ryan Greenspan, just hide for 2 fucking minutes. And don't get me wrong, that's almost impossible to do because he's going to be coming down your throat, and most of these high-level guys are going to be able to recognize that and fucking, you know, they're going to start being aggressive. But
he has that fiery fury in his eyes. Like
this is one of my catch-22s with the way the sudden death overtime is I think it's beautiful, you know, because we have this instant climactic moment where it's just, you know, okay, 2 guys, 2 minutes, someone's going to win the game after the end of this. But I do think there would be something beautiful to having like the shootout type, you know, the hockey type shootout where, all right, it's a best of 5. So it's not just...
that would be so sick.
Not just one lucky ball win you a tournament. Exactly. And now it's like... But there's also strategy that goes into that.
Yeah. Like, and we're not saying that Scott got lucky by any fucking means.
No. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, this is my argument for why I think that format would be cool, too. Because it gets rid of any of that argument.
More of an adrenaline dump as well.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, let's say for that tactics, okay, you know Jacob Edwards is going to go out first. Cool. You don't have to beat Jacob Edwards. You just got to beat the other 3 damage players behind him.
Yes.
And that is doable. And again, no shade to damage players, but like there's just guys in the league that we know
they got aura
are gonna fucking win. And if they don't, it's an upset and it's a big deal type moment.
Absolutely. And it's
like another one for me.
Look at champions and challengers.
Okay. Oh
yeah. Championship challenge when it was
the infamous Dynasty match.
Exactly. Yep. That was where it was.
That one went
best
to
of, like, race to 2. Yeah. It was race to 2. Whoever won 2 one-on-ones wins. And that shit, like that, and those were 60 seconds to where you are fucking gunfighting, right? You are trying to
15 too.
Yeah, and that was when there was a center flag, and you got to hang the flag.
Yep. So that's you got even longer time because you can't just win a gunfight in the Doritos and go forward.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And I was gonna say like another thing, Hatch, because we're talking about these guys. Another guy that comes to my mind is Thomas Kim. And you 100%. Know, he's a great there's these fighter. Players in the league that if it is a one-on-one gunfight, I will bet on them every single time. I don't care who is against them. But it's funny to me, another guy who's now becoming that is a Cyrus Gehringer. I think Cyrus 100%. Is an amazing one-on-one player. The last one-on-one I saw him lose on the pro field was to Thomas. I haven't seen him lose one since.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, it's almost like these guys, they have to go, you know, I hate to say it, but lose to one of the guys who are above them. And it's almost like that, like, okay, never again. Like, cool, I see what you did there. Fuck you, never again. And then, you know, the greats do step up. The Jacobs, the Cyruses, you know, the guys we're talking about.
I thought that the Tauntauns finals, I thought that they were really, like, I think
it was a great finals in general, like overall.
I think it's going to go down as one of the greatest probably in the decade. Like, it was that back and forth.
I mean, we're halfway through the decade. I'm not going to say that yet, but
obviously,
since we've come back from COVID, it's within the top 3 for sure. Like, for finals sure, we've had,
right?
Yeah,
and it is one of those things where I thought the Tauntauns, at the very first point when they really, you know, set a trap for Cyrus, I thought that I was like, damn, if they do that every point and just set a trap for Cyrus, they were going to win. Because they snuck up the middle, got to that brick, and is watching the gap for where Cyrus goes up the middle to shut down the snake side, right? And they caught him, and I was like, damn, dude, like PB Fit is gonna, you know, now they have to really change their strategy since they're keying up on Cyrus. So I thought that was just an overall very gritty game of paintball to where it could have been anybody's game, right? If it didn't go down to one, fuck, dude, Axel was a millisecond away, dude.
It was so tight. Yeah. Moving forward, we've been talking about this a while. So this was the photo that was posted of Trent Mason, who, as we mentioned, was the kill count leader for this event. So the man with the most amount of confirmed kills to his name. Congratulations, Trent Mason.
Man with a nice mustache.
Yeah, so Xavi posted that on his story the other day, and I had to hit him back with this little ditty. Make sure I get this ready.
Huh? Is there audio?
So yeah, that was Trent Mason's theme song throughout the whole entire event. The dude grew a fat ass mustache. I mean, he's had it for a while, but it just looked extra beefy at this event. And he was a man, and he put Fit on his back a little bit and killed, I think, close to 40 fucking people during the event.
That man looks at a fire and scares the fire out. He has that fireman's mustache, and he looks at the fucking fire, and the fire gets scared.
All I know, Hatch, he's welcome into the salty spittoon.
All right? Oh, how tough am I? My mustache puts out fires for me. You know, he's that kind of tough.
But this isn't a top 5 of one of his favorite things, by the way, Brando.
Nope.
Not a top 5. Not a top 5.
Not a top 5.
I'll still never understand that list. I asked you for your top 5 favorite interests, and you don't mention SpongeBob or Halo. You fucking madman.
You know, SpongeBob was just one of those things that was like, honestly, like...
It's just you. It's just a personality trait.
It was thrown into my brain, like, you know how Russia gets their sleeper agents by just, like, fucking jamming that shit?
The numbers.
That's what Nickelodeons did. The goobers hatch. What do they mean? And I'm like, oh, God, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But
I'm a goofy goober rock. Okay, sorry, that was very random. And if
then
you
had the GG guitar.
If you weren't born in the late '90s, you have no clue what I'm talking about right now. So, sorry.
Hey, sidebar.
From the sidebar.
New Jersey is the highest densely populated state in the U.S. and that's why that's part of why it smells like shit. It's kind of, you know,
Brandon, I was just gonna bring that up. It makes so much sense because like India, where another high population density place, they don't have the ability to understand that human beings live around them, so they just shit in the streets of New Jersey, you know, just throw their trash everywhere. They have huge garbage piles everywhere, which really is a great metaphor for what the state of New Jersey is itself, which Brandon is
just shitty. Just a shitty state.
Thank you.
I assumed that they wouldn't let us on the beach, and I assume that's because the syringes.
Well, so that was protecting you because the water of New Jersey is actually so toxic that any skin that goes into it will be acidically burned off from your body. It was thanks to Snooki. The pH balance in her fucking snatch was so high that she went into the ocean one time, and now no one else can go in there ever again. So we can all blame her and the rest of the Jersey Shore crew, which is an accurate representation of every single individual in Jersey because they're all low-life scumbag pieces of shit. Fuck you, New Jersey.
I like Paul ID,
moving forward, that was a great little bit. Borderlands 4 released a new trailer, and this is actually shocking news. They have pushed up the release date. Have you guys ever heard of a game pushing up the release date?
No, and I don't like that.
So it's funny, Hatch. You instantly, because you're a cynical person, so it's funny that you instantly go to like, oh, obviously that's going to be bad.
I want them to have
it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Let's be real. If something was broken, 2 weeks was not fixing it. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, if shit's that far off the rails, 2 weeks is not going to save you.
I don't know. It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, so not all that long of a time. And I'm going to be honest. They've been working on this for probably 4 years now, 3 or 4 years in development.
For sure.
They've had time to work stuff out. This is, there's a new engine for it. So I think a lot of the time built in was like, hey, we need to make a new engine. And that is a very difficult thing to do. And it takes a lot of time to get right and make sure all the bugs are out of it. There will be bugs on, day one. That just happens. But I have confidence. Borderlands, I will say this about Gearbox. They've never fucked up a launch. They've made delays at times when I wasn't, like Borderlands 3, they delayed quite a bit. But when it came out, it worked. Co-op worked. You can play crossplay. Like, they have shown in the past that they do care about how their game comes out on day one. And because of that, it gives me some confidence that this isn't going to be kind of a quick push out money grab and more like they just feel like it's ready and they just want to get it out there.
That I've come to terms with as a gamer in this like generation, the game is not going to be perfect the very first day. There's going to be server issues because people are fucking cramming that shit in. People are jamming
server issues, but also it doesn't need to be perfect the first day anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Because devs have the ability to look at the whole code base and make improvements and patches, and essentially in 6 months you could have a completely different game, from a foundational standpoint. But it's the same $60 you paid for. So there are pros and cons to it now. Whereas dude, when you bought Sly Cooper, that was fucking Sly Cooper. If there was a bug in it, it was just in there for the rest of time.
And I know bangers. Sly Cooper's a banger.
Okay, Hatch?
Yep. And,
dude, Borderlands, it looks so...
Talk about it, Brandon. You're the other autistic beautiful. Borderlands fan here. We played Borderlands 1 when it came out in fucking 09. Yes. Literally, 14 years of my life. The only thing I've been listening to longer than that is fucking PKA, which is 15 years of my life, which is insane. Wait, I guess this is 16 years because 09 and then 010 or 10. So
it's had their 15th year.
Yeah.
When did GTA 4 come out? Let me check that.
08,
7?
I think.
08, right around there. Like that. Yeah. It was similar time to like Halo 3.
Halo 3.
Oh, that's 07. 07 is Halo 3.
I have it in conjunction with like COD 4, which was 08.
Yep.
Or 07 too. No,
07.
Yeah, so it was 07, yeah.
08 was World at War.
Yeah, 08 was April 29th, 08, GTA 4.
You think 08 is COD 4 because that's when you were playing COD 4.
But
then
it always releases at the end of the year in November.
Yeah, exactly. It fucks with you. But
but Borderlands 4, dude, it looks so fucking good, dude.
It looks so good. God. They've redone the engine from the ground up. It is completely new gameplay, lighting, graphics, movement.
I love Destiny. It looks like a combination of Borderlands and Destiny, and
I wouldn't go that far. It looks like they took some of the good ideas from Destiny and brought those into Borderlands. Like, it doesn't necessarily look like they're like, okay, this
complete
is
mash. No,
Borderlands Destiny now. It's just like, hey, Borderlands is already open world. Wouldn't it be cool if you could now just do things? Like, they're just waiting for you in the open world when you randomly show up, or, there's missions or things you can find, and, like, dude, I'm fucking so excited, bro. God
From the sidebar, real quick, speaking of Destiny, Destiny actually just got a surprise DLC today, where Star Wars.
Shit. No, I don't give a shit.
Star Wars collab, so it's actually pretty sick.
It's Destiny, I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's Destiny, though.
There's some diehard fans on that,
Bungie's
bro.
falling the fuck off, dude. It's so sad what's happened to that gaming studio. Marathon is not going to look is not going to come out good.
I think Marathon looks like fucking shit.
Marathon looks like shit, and Arc Raiders looks amazing. We'll talk about that in a second. But to finish up Borderlands 4, Brandon, here's my problem I'm having. Over the weekend, I was looking at my Steam library, and my head was like, I don't want to play any of these. They're not Borderlands 4. The last time I felt this way about a video game was Borderlands 3.
Oh.
We're about 4 months out from release. Oh. Fuck. I tried to not pay attention for as long as I could, and now it's in my head that it's there.
What's the date?
September 12th, I think.
Dude, this year is so fucking good for games, bro. Oh my god.
But I will say, we're in a lull right now. Like, now it's kind of
dude, it's gonna
waiting for shit.
It's gonna be over very at the end of this month. Night Rain drops. Crazy. Right, and that's like that's the first. Obviously, Ryan, I know
that, but I know for you that is a huge thing.
Not only just for me, but in the gaming culture, where it's like, this is a whole nother Soulsborne game. You're just hating on my parade. You're raining on my parade.
I'm not hating on your parade. Your community, the Souls community, they will have a huge thing to latch onto. For people who, I hate to say this, the majority of gamers who don't play Souls games, it'll be something they pick up, play for a week or two, and then go on to their next thing.
I'm genuinely curious on what the lifeline is going to be like for that game.
I will not be purchasing it. Other thing that came out gaming-wise, I guess here, Borderlands 4. Do you got anything else you want to say, Brandon? I want to make sure.
Yeah,
I want you to talk because I know you're passionate about this topic.
Dude, I know.
He's not passionate enough.
Shut the fuck up. I will mute you.
I'm just saying.
Look, I have no, I don't want to say I have no need for a PC, right? A gaming PC. But if there was a game to get me to actually pull the trigger and buy a fucking gaming PC, this is it. I'm looking at the requirements. I'm highly considering getting something to actually play this, because I can't play it. I cannot play this.
Yeah,
but
I can probably run it on my PC. It'll be pretty frame skippy. Because I have a laptop. It's not gonna work that well. I'm not gonna lie, it's in the back of my head of like, do I budget for a new fucking PC before September? Because I want this to be beautiful, 180 frames at 1440p graphics. I want this to be the most amazing cinematic thing while I'm chasing for loot. Other big news from it, and I know most people don't care, so we'll move on in a second. But other big news from it: legendaries are now incredibly rare again.
Thank God.
I'm bittersweet about it. I liked being able to play with legendaries in Borderlands 3 because I don't grind games forever, so I won't see all the things in Borderlands 4 just because there are harder drops now. But when you do get one, it's a fucking shit! Get the camera, mom!
What if that turns out to be one of your games where you're like, oh, this is like the game that I'm gonna invest a ton of time into,
Then there we go. Then we're getting more legendaries, right? Or
fuck, dude, I played Borderlands 3. That game came out fucking 2020. It was right before the pandemic, and I was still getting time on that,
Fucking Borderlands 1.
Right? It's a comfort game, right? I wonder if that's going to be one of those
Brandon was talking.
Yeah, oh my God. Borderlands 2 is for sure my comfort game. But playing Borderlands, the drop rates going from Borderlands 1 to 2 to even 3, that was 1 to 2 was a big jump because fucking the guy tons of legendaries.
1 you didn't find dick shit. Pearlescence, I didn't even know they existed. I didn't know they existed for a couple years after I played it, Brandon. And I was on YouTube and I was like, why does he have a teal gun? What the fuck is that? So that's not fun. But also on the other side, Borderlands 3, where every single time you kill a boss, 7 legendaries drop. That's also not fun.
Yeah.
So the Borderlands 2 really was a good middle ground of you'll get 3 or 4 a playthrough.
Yeah.
If you grind, you can get more. Yeah.
Yes. It's 1 every 25 kills, maybe. Something like that.
25 boss kills, not just
boss kills. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. You definitely have to grind, but you don't have to spend hours.
Brandon, I will say, buddy, did you see in the trailer they showed that raid boss?
The trailer?
Yeah, it's during, or not the trailer, the whole 20-minute thing that they did. They showed off like gameplay of a big raid boss. I don't want to have to be 12 and fight Cromrax by myself again. Can you please get a PC so I can have someone to help me defeat that motherfucker? Because I'm already telling you, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be sitting in there by myself, hating my life for 20 hours in a row trying to beat that thing, so I can get the fucking blood of Terramorphous.
Okay, guys, we're starting to GoFundMe. Listeners out there, let's give me a PC.
We're starting to GoFundMe for
GoFundMe, PayPal him directly.
But the problem is, it's not actually for the PC. He's an adult. He can pay for the PC. It's to convince Michelle to allow him to have the PC.
Yeah. The money's to first buy her a nice necklace so she approves, and then she's in a better mood for when you buy that month, for when you spend the money.
Yeah, she's not as mad,
Exactly.
100%.
Come on.
Strategy. All right, boys. Well, let's final topic for tonight. Let's bring it on home. The biggest thing that happened today, Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Boys, they've hit the second tower. GTA 6 has dropped a second trailer.
Absolutely. Like, let me tell you, dude.
Did you watch it, Brando?
I did. I didn't have any sound. I watched it at work.
Ooh,
I didn't have any sound.
Not ideal.
I know.
Okay. First thoughts. I'm in. I'm sold. I'm gonna buy it. You could charge me $100. I'll fucking buy your game. I'm gonna be honest. There is no PC release date. I'm probably going to buy a console and then return that console at Best Buy to play this game on launch. I am not shitting you. It is hype. The Bonnie and Clyde story of fucking, the white dude and his Latina. That's great. We love that. Love that. Big fan of that. I'm so in for that storyline. I think that's going to be great. I have one of the guys at work who watched it today. He went to Central Florida, UCF, and he, spent a lot of time in that area. His direct quote was, "This is nailing the Florida vibe." Love that. That's great to hear the sign off on that, because obviously this game is set in the Florida of the GTA world. Man, I'm excited. It looks fucking insane.
Screenshots look like real life.
Are these cinematics or is this gameplay? Like, I can't tell, because
I think the thing is they put it where they don't let you know.
They're doing it on purpose. 100%.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. But dude, they have been cooking on this for, almost close to 10 years with $2 billion.
Over
this
10
might be
now.
Gameplay we're watching, dude. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know.
I remember when we first talked about when GTA. We recorded the podcast when GTA 6 was announced. How crazy is that?
We did. Yep.
And
it was 3 years ago already.
I remember what I said. I was like, dude.
You feel old?
I was like, dude. GTA 6 is going to be a technological advancement for gaming. It is going to have shit that we have that nothing has ever seen before. This is going to be a game that so much, like, you gotta have a good ass PC to run all this shit. Not gonna lie, which is what it feels like.
Yeah, if you're not running the console version, like, yeah, it probably is going to be pretty poorly optimized on PC. Here's the other thing about GTA. We've seen EA pour millions and millions of dollars into games before for them just to collapse spectacularly on launch. The difference with GTA is Rockstar is behind it.
100%.
I guarantee you there was at least 3 weeks of board meetings about, okay, we said it would come out in 2025. It's not going to be ready. Do we push it back? Like, that wasn't a decision that was made lightly, but I guarantee you, just like CD Projekt Red, they made that decision because they knew they had to. There's certain companies, CD Projekt Red, Rockstar, we talked about them earlier, Gearbox, that, like, I trust when they're like, guys, we want it to be out. It would make us money. You're just going to have to wait. I'm sorry. Because, like, we got to make sure it's ready.
With that mindset, that's why when it's like Borderlands, like, oh, we're doing the, sending it up. That's what the average gamer's like, that's weird. That never fucking happens before,
Yeah, but also I will say it's not giving me red flags yet. And maybe we'll hear some stuff come out. Maybe we get a whole bunch of rumors that there's large crunch at Gearbox and it's not going well. Maybe that happens. I can't see the future.
I also get it.
But I think for now, and I will say, Brandon, that full 20-minute walkthrough, that was a pretty complete build.
Yeah, it was.
That was a retail build, essentially. Yeah. Like, every feature was in. There was no placeholders on any text or any graphics. Like, they're pretty far along, it seems, at least from what they're showing to the public.
Yeah, it's just little things now, right? Little bugs.
Optimization stuff. Little user interface type bugs and just things like that come about.
But the gameplay itself, it's ready to go.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems that way. So yeah, dude, I'm so fucking pumped.
I put this thing down in my notes
right now.
I put this thing down in my notes about GTA 6. I was like, GTA 6 is probably going to have more men taking the day off work than any strike in human history.
You do forget how big COD was back in the day, dog.
I agree, but bro, this is GTA 6.
I agree.
This is COD is on a fucking different. Is on a horrible playing field compared to GTA.
I don't disagree, but buddy, I don't think you remember how big releases were when we were in 7th and 8th grade, bro. It was, I agree, but it was a federal holiday, essentially.
But it's also now all of the kids that were playing back then.
My uncle fucking called in from work to fucking play. He was working at Cisco at the time. He fucking called in to play Call of Duty all goddamn day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
He's a 40-year-old man, and he was playing COD.
Right? So imagine what it's going to be like with GTA 5. Imagine what it's going to be like with GTA 5.
GTA 5? We've already had GTA 5.
Not GTA 5. Sorry, GTA 5. It's weird to fucking think that GTA 6 is coming, But GTA 6, I think that I'm going to take a day off work. Obviously it's not going to be
anymore. I would have up until my new job where I'm now in purgatory and don't get to leave ever and have no hours, but just am expected to be on the clock and available at all periods of time of the day with no set schedule or any coordination. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to Borderlands 4 and GTA 6, and if I have time to play them, I'll play them, and that'll be a lot of fun. Boys, it's time we get out of here. We're gonna move on into the post show. This will be a fun one. So apparently, Go Sports decided let's schedule matches after the pro final on Sunday. So I turned off Go Sports. Our resident chuckle fuck over here, Stephen Hatch, he didn't, and he says that the match that came after apparently is one of the best and most chaotic things he's ever seen in paintball. So we're gonna watch it together with you in the post show. The post show's over on the Patreon, something we get to do over there because we don't have to deal with YouTube and copyright and all that dumb and not gay stuff. It's gay stuff, okay? So we're gonna go over to the Patreon. We're going to go over to the Patreon. We're going to watch that. But before we do, we got two things we got to do to end the show. We need a code word of the week, and then we need a cool guy of the week. So, Brandon, who is the cool guy of the week?
Cool guy of the week. I've been following this guy all weekend long. His name's Phoenix. It's Sailing with Phoenix on TikTok.
Sailing with Vagabond?
That's what I thought. But just this one guy that following his story, listening to it over the better part of the past year, he got diagnosed with some medical condition that retrospectively kind of put him like, dude, what am I doing? Like, let me go chase my dream. And he wanted to sail around the world. So
did he find a cute Australian lady to take along with him?
No, but he has a really cute cat. So
it's not the same. Does the cat have huge pepperoni nipples?
It depends on the day.
God, I love when I say things that you understand completely and don't flinch at, and Hatch is like, what the fuck just came out of his mouth?
It was a very...
Pepperoni pimple.
I was like, pepperoni pimples, bro.
That's not an original thought. I'll say that. It's not an original thought.
Yeah, not an original thought.
But this guy, he liquidated all his assets, quit his job, 401k, whatever, bought a boat, and has been documenting.
Took out a life insurance policy.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's faking his death currently.
He learned how to sail. Didn't even know how to sail, but that's what he wanted to do.
Learned everything.
Bought a sailing boat, learned how to manage it, how to actually sail, and is now, I think, in a week into his journey sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. And I've been keeping up, dude. It's
gonna go find his Alina.
Alina. Yeah,
his Alina.
He doesn't break his back.
It's a long sail, dude.
And the Aboriginal locals, they're gonna try to rape her, eh? Yeah, get a little rapey.
Cat calling.
But it's their culture. It's their culture.
It's fine.
That's what
it's
they
okay.
do.
It's all right. Yeah. So Follow along, guys. It's cool. It's
Sailing with Phoenix. I do like that. New. That's a cool story. Yeah, that's a cool guy of the week. That's it's actually a good one. Nice job, Brando. Code word of the week, Catch. What do we got?
All right, boys. We got Dust Bowl. We just got back from Philly, and let me tell you, dude, that shit was a Dust Bowl.
All right, if you want to hit me with the right code word of the week, it'll be Sand Bowl. But if you want to hit me with hatches, it'll be Dust Bowl. So there you go. You can make your own choice at home. It is a choose your own adventure this week.
If you want the FTS approved, it's
Sand
Dust.
Bowl.
Dust.
That's what you were in. You were not in a Dust Bowl because you were not in the Midwest,
Sand
motherfucker.
Bowl doesn't
you were
even
on
fucking
the
roll
beach.
off the tongue right, bro.
You're on the beach, motherfucker.
Doesn't even roll off the tongue.
Well, yes. Boys, before I get into my spiel that I always do to end the show, there is one special shout out I want to mention tonight. We've talked about it a couple times already on the podcast tonight. And Hatch, I know you won't give a fuck about this, but I did want to give a special shout out to PKA. Panker already this past week posted their 750th weekly episode of a podcast.
Long ass time. Jeez.
That is 15 years of doing podcast content. I was a middle school kid when I started listening to that show. I am now a 26-year-old adult in a different state still listening to that show. They are not only a beacon of just being committed to something and where that can take you, but they are also a beacon of just being yourself. Obviously the internet is a different place than it was in 09. Mm-hmm. They are one of the few places that have not, updated themselves. They don't censor themselves. They're the same people they were back then. And there is something that is very refreshing about that as someone who remembers, what the internet was like when it was this open and free place. I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. If you guys ever wanted to understand where my sense of humor came from, it's 100% that show. Like I've said, been listening to it for more years in my life that I have not listened to that podcast, which is an incredibly crazy thing to say. But hope those boys, hope they don't quit and
keep
hope
it going.
It keeps going. But yeah, man. So just wanted to give them a shout out tonight because they're obviously inspirations, not just to us on this podcast, but I know there are many podcasters who are doing what they do because they heard of PKA back in the early days of YouTube. I mean, Ludwig literally talks about it from time to time. He watched Mail Mondays back in the day and got the idea for the yard from PKA. It's really cool to see the influence that show has had and to be like, kind of a part of that ride in this weird ass way. Hearing them talk about paintball and all the, stupid things they do. But yeah, so if you guys need a podcast out there, go check it out. They have Drifter on this week, who is one of their best guests of all time. It is a man who sees ghosts and lays down in a bed during the 4-hour podcast because if he sits in a chair, his back hurts too much. He also just had like a multiple pound mass of fat removed from his back, and he has spinal issues. It's a whole long thing. Go listen to the fucking podcast. I'm not going to tell you the rest of it here.
So much lore.
If you enjoyed us tonight, make sure you drop us a rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go ahead, drop that 5-star. Takes just a second and it is free to do. Definitely appreciate your support. Pushes us up in the algorithm so more people see the podcast and get to hear it themselves. Make sure you also subscribe on those platforms as well. All the ones I just mentioned: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We also got the Patreon. We're going to jump over there in just a second for this post show, watching all the craziness from D3 5-man, D4 5-man.
I split deck with both, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, split deck with both, so it's going to be a little madness. So come join us at the Patreon, patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. And the sponsors, boys. We got Liquid IV, liquidiv.com, promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Head over there, get yourself some 20% off and free shipping. We also got NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy, promo code MafiaProductions. Buy 2, get 1 free. And last but not least, honestly, if you fuck those two tonight, go buy something from Welt. Scott Stewart just won the event on his back, all right? Go fucking support the company. They make awesome shit. They make cool. I mean, my mask has a Welt strap on it. These boys wear Welt undershirts every time they're on the field. Just go support the company. They make dope shit. We love them. Code FTS over on their website to save yourself some money at checkout. All right, boys.
Nice.
You want to go make fun of D3 and D4 paintballers?
Fuck yeah, I do.
All right, I'm fucking down. And without further ado, for Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffitt, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Hatch, go ahead and do that thing you do.
Bye.
See you guys later.